I love a buttered biscuit.
Good evening, everybody. Hope that you're having a wonderful one. We are going to be messing with Mo tonight. We're going to have a little bit of fun. That is what we're looking forward to. Is just having a little bit of fun tonight. Let me get up this playlist here, because man, oh man, they changed a whole bunch of stuff inside this where now it's harder to navigate. I'm just looking. It's such a pain in the butt to make sure that I get where I need to be, because they've gone through and just changed the whole way that everything looks. And it's just like, man, why me? Why me? Why does it have to be on this? See, this is weird. Why it's going in here? Beautiful playlist. There we go. I don't know why this did this, man. See, it was supposed to be going to a different place. It was supposed to be going to cancel. Where is this? Damn it. Save to a playlist. Where is the correct playlist for this? Because there it is. Got it. Bastards. All right. So we were coming up on the second day. Sorry about that, folks. I'm just randomly talking to myself right now. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Christine. How's it going? D. Robertson. Hey, Sad. Hey, Sadkun. How's it going? It is awesome. Hello, D. Robertson. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. PM, I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess it is for you. It is good morning for you. Double the morning to you. Cheers to you. If it's morning where you're at, congratulations. That means that you made it through the night. Absolutely made it through the night. I want to see if this is where we left off. Just want to make sure that I've got the right stuff. I think this is the right one. Share screen. It's 2:35 in the morning. Whoa, Lord.
Death in her immediate family. She's basically explained it to my bailiff and
So I
asked
think this
to
is where we left off.
be excused. I told both lawyers about both sides about that situation. Obviously, we have 14 jurors. If she's excused, we still have 13, which is one more than we'll ultimately need.
This isn't what I was looking for.
I think the lawyers are stipulating to her being excused, correct?
Early on, so I can figure out where we were last go around. I'll just keep looking here, and what I'll do is I'll give you guys a little bit of music so that way it's not just complete dead air here. I thought I had this all pulled up, but this is, of course, one of the worst parts about these things happening is it just does all this crazy stuff. So let me give you a little bit of easy listening here for you to soothe the soul while I search. I think I found it here. It should be this. Should be this one right here.
To TMJ4.
This is it. Pretty sure. It is awesome. Yeah, just trying to find where everything is located at is always a little bit of a pain in the ass. So this of course is where we are with this guy. He's been asking these questions, and I'm pretty sure he's about to get his ass handed to him by this lady. She's pretty righteous lady. Yeah, we cover off the law and crime stuff for a reason. Because that's just how we roll with this stuff. We've been doing the Edgecomb stuff. I did not do a stream last night. I'm sure, as most of you know, I was exhausted beyond all repair, so I had to get some serious rest. I feel much better now that I did. Oh yeah. But this is the deceased's husband, and I'll rewind it back just a little bit so we can sort of be caught up with where we're at with this. He's been called out a few times.
I do remember that he did sit for a second to tell me that my family was there. He wanted me to know that the family was there, that Ivana was there, Davina was there, Maria, and my children.
So he did sit next to you at the time you gave a statement, correct?
Yes, if I remember correctly,
Also, I don't
yes.
think Mo likes this part of it, so
Now, I just
trying
want
to get through
back
some
up a
of this
little bit
portion
now.
of it.
You indicated when this, let's go back to the first incident. Now, on the first incident, you indicate that Mr. Edgecomb was going the wrong direction, is what your statement is, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And
So we're gonna
at that particular time,
Yes.
you indicated on direct
Wave.
that your husband yelled out, "What the heck?" Correct?
that's what I recall.
Okay. All right.
That's much better.
And in fact,
Hey,
you
how's it
were
going,
given
JW? Good
several
to see you.
media interviews
Does everything sound
after
good
this
on
incident,
your
correct?
end?
I believe it was 2.
Do you recall giving an interview to TMJ4?
I do not.
Okay. Do you recall giving an interview to CBS 58?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you recall giving an interview to Fox 6?
I did an interview,
Excellent.
the
That's
first
what I wanted
interview.
to
I
hear.
don't remember which station it was with.
Okay. So is it fair to say that the only other option would likely be WISN 12?
I'm not sure. I was very distraught that day when they came to the house.
Okay. And when you gave those interviews,
Join
when you were
what?
interviewed, you explained that your husband said, "What the heck?" Correct?
Hey, you can become a member.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall on another interview saying that your husband yelled out, "Hey, what's the problem?"
I don't recall that.
Okay. All right, so your recollection is that you solely said, your husband solely said, "Hey, what the heck?" Correct? All right.
What the heck?
All right. Now, when you gave those interviews, that was what, a couple days later, or how long of a period of time was that later?
I was very distraught, and I still am very distraught over the loss of my husband. And a lot of things I have been having trouble retaining. My short memory can be some foggy sometimes. I think it was a couple of days after that they came to the house.
Okay. So a couple days after, you indicate that your husband said, "What the heck?" Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then, did you indicate today that there was a statement when on direct where it was, well, let me stop there. Let's go to 6 minutes and 22 seconds of this exhibit. This one? Yes, right.
This type of sleazy is why most people dislike lawyers. Yes, because he is sleazy. That is the hardest part about having someone here like this.
Stop, please stop. You have your husband's ID. That's my husband! Please, I need to have his, ma'am, you have his wallet here in your purse. I need his ID. Please give me his ID.
Yes.
I need you to talk to me, okay? Okay, hang on.
Yeah, you take one.
My husband said, what the fuck? And then, okay, it's here. Hey.
So, Miss Cleereman, did you just say that your husband yelled out, "What the fuck"?
That's what it shows on the video. Yes.
Is that a true statement? Is what your husband said?
I remember what the heck. I was distraught.
Okay.
I swear a lot.
You said, I'm sorry?
I swear a lot.
You swear a lot? Okay. And then did you indicate on direct that potentially he also said, "What the fuck, motherfucker"?
Those were my words.
Okay. And is that your belief of what your husband might have said?
No.
Okay. So whose words were those on September 22nd?
That was me explaining I was upset. I was explaining it to my sister because she was not believing me. And so I was upset, and so I used
Well, I understand why she
The F
used those
word.
words.
Okay. All right. If we can continue with the video, please.
Stop. You have your husband's ID. It's my husband.
Now, is that Garrett?
That is Garrett.
Okay. And Garrett ultimately ends up in the police car with you, correct?
Yeah.
Everything's so foggy right now.
Ms. Cleereman, you can just speak up a little.
Man. It's not what you wanted to do with this lady. At
Now
all.
I'm not sure.
So you're not sure if that guy ended up in the police car with you?
You don't do this to a widow.
I know
This is
someone was sitting
why-
next to me. I don't know if it was Garrett, if it was the other detective.
All right.
Yeah, no compassion for her.
Now, I just want to, just kind of go back a little bit. So we got to the first incident, right? And you mentioned on direct that you were just leaving a bar called Scaffity's, correct?
Scaffidi's.
Scaffity's. Okay. And before I start here, your
Jeez.
husband he was a pretty tall
This
guy.
guy
He
is
was about
such a
6'3",
bad
correct?
lawyer. Such a bad
Yes, he
lawyer.
was 6'3".
And he weighed 250 pounds, correct?
220, 225. He was very proud of himself for losing weight. So he was 220, 225.
Okay. But if I submit to you that the autopsy report indicated 250 pounds, would you have any reason to dispute that?
No.
Okay. Now, you indicated on direct that you had a glass of wine, correct?
Yes, I had one glass of wine.
Right. And your husband, you mentioned, had 3 beers. Is that right?
I remember 3 beers.
And that's what you testified to on direct, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible that because your memory is a bit foggy that he could have had a lot more than 3 beers?
Would have. But did he?
It's
You never
possible
know.
Oh.
he had maybe 4 beers. 3 to 4 beers.
Is
It
it possible
doesn't
that he
matter. He's
also had
dead.
anything other than beer
This
on
is-
September 22nd?
What do you mean by other?
Is it possible that he had any other type of alcoholic beverage outside of beer?
Like, can you give me an example? You mean like a shot or?
Well, did your husband take shots?
No.
Okay.
He only drank beer.
Okay, so the only thing he would have would be beer.
Just
correct?
beer.
All right, and you've been made aware, obviously, in this case, that the autopsy report that his blood alcohol level was a .12, correct?
That's why
Yes.
he wasn't driving.
And
Hey, Roxanne. Roxanne.
you would, are you familiar with blood alcohol levels? Like,
No.
okay.
Yeah, no
Do
compassion, low to ego,
if I
arrogance
submitted
in
to you
his
that the
voice.
legal limit was
Yes.
a .8 in this state, would you have any reason to disbelieve that?
You're telling me that that's the legal limit?
I'm asking, do you have a reason to believe?
Your Honor, the legal limit is .08.
Yeah,
I'll
.08.
just clarify, it's .08 to operate a vehicle in Wisconsin.
Point
That's
zero.
the law.
.08, Ms. Cleereman.
Yeah. I mean,
.08 is a legal limit.
Right.
Okay.
You aware of that?
I am
no,
now.
don't-
Okay.
Doesn't
And your
matter.
husband's, the autopsy report indicated that your husband's limit was a .12, correct?
That is correct.
And that would be 1.5 times the legal limit, correct?
To drive?
I don't know.
Okay. Now, you indicated that
To drive?
your husband drove to Scaffity's, correct?
He drove to Scaffidi's? Yes.
Scaffity's.
Yes.
I'll get it right one of these times, I'm sorry. All right, so he drove there, right?
Yes, he drove there.
Does he normally do the driving when you two are together?
No. No. Usually I do the driving. Like I drive him to court. We share one vehicle.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have 2 vehicles. We only own one. And sometimes he'll drive to work. Sometimes I'll drive to work, depending if he has to go to an immigration interview. If he has to go to an immigration interview, he's in his suit, and then I drive and I drop him off.
Okay,
But I think I do most of the driving.
okay. But when he came out of Scafidis, did I get it right that time?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So when he came out of Scafidis, he insisted at that moment that you do the driving, correct?
He's, when you use the word insist,
Well, he requested, he asked, correct?
he said, honey, you can drive home.
Okay. And do you believe that that was, request was made based off the drinking he had been doing that night?
No, I think he was tired.
Okay. Now,
He's not getting out of her what he wants. Maybe
You're
if
also
he'd
aware of the
done an
autopsy
interview
report
with her
that is-
beforehand.
it's claimed that there was THC
Jeez,
in the
guy's
system,
an idiot.
correct?
Well, that's what I understand now, yes.
Did your husband use marijuana?
Objection, Your Honor. The testimony is not that there actually was THC. It was not confirmed.
The testimony was that there was THC metabolites. That's what the medical examiner testified to. Let's keep an accurate record and ask accurate questions.
Yeah, I thought I used the word claimed, but okay. Ms. Cleereman, does your husband use marijuana?
Objection, Your Honor. Rowe.
I missed that. What was the question again?
Does your husband use marijuana, or did he use marijuana?
Judge, I'm objecting.
Overruled. She can answer.
He did for chronic neck pain. He did once in a while.
He did once in a while? Mm-hmm. On September 22nd, do you recall him using marijuana?
I never saw him. I've never witnessed him.
All right.
Just to clarify, you did not see him on the day in question use marijuana.
I did not see my husband use marijuana.
And to your knowledge, he didn't have a prescription for marijuana, did he?
Not to my knowledge.
No compassion. No compassion.
Ms. Cleereman, have you at any point used marijuana?
Objection,
No.
Your Honor.
That's irrelevant. Sustained. Although she answered and said no. Let's move on.
Now, Ms. Cleereman, you indicated that after per the body cam in your testimony, well, at least the statement on the body cam. Sure. After your husband says, "What the fuck," on the video to Mr. Edgecomb, then you continue driving forward. Is that correct?
After I swerve, you mean? I continue driving?
I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall if
No,
you
I
made
stopped
contact
out.
with Mr. Edgecomb or not?
I jumped out of the car. I did.
What do you mean by
a loop-de-loop
contact?
around the,
Do you
around the
recall
car because that's
ever
what you
coming
do
into
whenever
contact
somebody
with Mr.
just
Edgecomb?
runs you down.
With the vehicle?
What do you mean by
I
that?
think he's asking, correct me if I'm wrong, did your car ever touch Mr. Edgecomb and or the bicycle?
No.
And how did you come to that conclusion?
I didn't. My vehicle never touched him. I swerved around him, and he was still biking. As I looked in my rearview mirror, he was still biking in the direction that he started to bike in.
Okay. So you're alleging that Mr. Edgecomb never got off he never fell off the vehicle?
He never fell off the vehicle.
I mean, off his bike.
He did not fall off his bike.
Okay, and you know that because you're continually going forward, correct?
I'm going straight, but I looked in my rearview mirror.
Okay, and so you're driving straight, but you're looking at the rearview mirror at the same time?
Oh, I glanced.
Okay, so you glanced. So you don't know if Mr. Edgecomb would have ever fell off the bike onto another vehicle and at some point got back on his bike?
He did not fall off his bike. He was still riding his bike.
Okay, but you know that because you just glanced in the rearview mirror at some point, right?
Yes.
Now, you're heading toward Holton, the intersection of Holton and Brady, correct? You're on Brady and you're headed toward Holton, right? Okay. And you're stopped. Your vehicle comes to a stop at that point.
Yes, the light turned red and I stopped.
Okay. And were you surprised when Mr. Edgecomb ended up on the passenger side of the vehicle?
I was very surprised.
Okay. So there's been a time that you weren't looking in your rearview mirror the whole time to see Mr. Edgecomb approach the vehicle, correct?
No, because we had already left
No, I
him.
was
That
not.
like blocks back.
So at least there was some period of time that you don't know what Mr. Edgecomb was doing, correct?
Correct. I saw him continuing to ride his bike, so I was not thinking that I didn't think anything other than I'm going home.
Okay. And your direct testimony was that Mr. Edgecomb says to your husband, "Hey, were you talking to me?" Correct?
When he approached the vehicle, he said, "Hey, are you talking to me?"
Right. Those are the only words that Mr. Edgecomb said before.
Those are the only words that I remember.
And then your husband replied, "Yeah, I was talking to you."
He just said yes.
Okay. And then at that point, Mr. Edgecomb punched Mr. Cleereman, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, Mr. Edgecomb never made a threat to you, did he?
No,
Never made a verbal threat to you?
never made a verbal threat to me.
Okay. He never mentioned at any time that he had a weapon on his person, correct?
We never exchanged words.
Okay. So Mr. Edgecomb
No,
never
because he
said,
ran up and
you know, I have a gun,
and sucker
correct?
punched somebody like a little bitch.
I never heard him speak a word to me. No,
I mean,
Okay.
simple as that.
And he never said that to Mr. Cleereman either, correct?
no.
Mr. Edgecomb
Hey,
also never
so-
brandished a weapon. He never raised a shirt, showed a weapon. He
This guy-
never
this guy's
pulled
a
anything out.
douchebag.
Is that true?
I didn't. He was on his
This
bike. He
attorney
punched
is
my husband and he rode off.
Okay. I just want to kind of, before we go to that point, I want to just kind of stay right here at the time the punch was made. Mr. Edgecomb never displayed a firearm at that time that he punched Mr. Cleereman, did he?
I can't say because I didn't see his hands. I just saw that my husband was struck and his glasses flew off, and so I didn't see a weapon.
Okay. And so he never made any indication of having a weapon or threatening of any type of weapon whatsoever at that time, correct?
No, he did not.
Okay. And for all you know, Mr. Edgecomb didn't have a weapon at all at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's fair to say.
Okay. So you mentioned that this happened pretty quick, right?
Yes,
So Mr. Edgecomb punches
Sucker
Mr.
punches.
Cleereman, right?
yes.
All right, let's go to the punch. If we go to
Like a little
stage 80,
biatch. Sucker punched him. What a trash human being. So wrong. Judge, can I sucker punch this attorney to show the jurors sort of how it worked? Yeah. It's just, this is not what you do with a widow. This does not help his case whatsoever. This is the worst way that he could do this. Worst way that you can do this. These peoples.
Okay, so if you counsel, if you don't mind playing this one.
Crazy. All right, so here it comes. Yeah, there's no reason for them to show all of this. So this vehicle stops, goes around right here, and she's going to be coming up here shortly. Your Honor, couldn't they have done this a little bit faster? So this
I
is
want to
her.
stop right here, please. Now, Ms. Cleereman, is this the vehicle that you were driving on the night
No,
of
that's
September
Bob's
22nd,
vehicle,
2020?
you idiot.
There are many Kias. There are many Kias, so I want to make sure that is our vehicle.
You want to take a look at does this refresh any of your recollection? You remember being behind a Reinhardt truck?
No, I don't remember being behind a truck.
Okay. You want to take a second look at this vehicle to see if it's, so if you want to come closer to the court?
Well, I mean, it looks like my vehicle.
Okay. All right. And you have no reason to think otherwise that that is likely your vehicle, September 22nd, correct?
Well, it's hard to tell. I don't know who's in the vehicle.
Okay. All right. We'll continue playing, please. Come on, stop it right here.
Okay, that,
Why
Can
are
you
we
confirm that this is
stopping
your
it?
vehicle at this point?
Can't tell. Might be.
I can't.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Counsel, if you mind, continue playing. Can you stop, please, right there?
So here comes the
You
guy
see
on
a
a bicycle.
bicyclist coming along at this point right here?
No.
Yes,
Okay. Is that Mr. Edgecomb?
I
So-
don't know.
Okay. All right. Counsel,
There's a
continue playing.
bicyclist right there. Comes riding up,
And if you can stop right there.
riding
Counsel.
down the middle of the street,
So Mr.
blocking
Edgecomb came from a
traffic.
pretty far distance, right? You were pretty good amount of space between you guys, right?
It appears that way.
All right.
He
Would
has
you,
an attitude.
if we could back up maybe 5 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Crystal. Give me a second. I'll open up.
Do you see
the,
Mr.
chat
Edgecomb
there.
in
I always
frame
forget to open the chat.
at this point?
On the side.
Barely.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Can we back up maybe 5 more seconds, please?
So sorry. I always forget to do
Okay.
that.
We can stop right there. Do you see Mr. Edgecomb in frame on this video?
Good to see you, Crystal.
No.
Hope you're doing well.
So, Mr.
Hope you had
Edgecomb
a
was
good-
at least-
a good weekend.
At least a half a block
Week.
behind you, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Because you don't see him in his frame, right?
No.
You would agree that
No, the headlights are
distance
too bright.
up to this point would probably be close to about a half a block or so, right?
Block and a half.
About a block and a half distance.
Yes.
Counsel, you can continue to play.
Let's badger the witness. They say it will be good. They say, look at where we are
So,
now,
Mr.
fools.
Edgecomb, it appears that a bicyclist is now coming in frame, correct?
Riding up.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And if
Thumbs
we
up.
could, you can stay. Okay, stop right here, please.
Yeah, because you don't want to show how fast
Now,
he
you
rides
mentioned
up
that
to this
Mr. Edgecomb
car.
surprised you when he came to the vehicle, right?
Yes.
So you didn't see Mr. Edgecomb when he got to this place, right?
No.
So for at least a block and a half distance, you didn't have any indication where Mr. Edgecomb was, correct?
Correct.
Didn't care.
All right, Counsel,
Why
you
would I
continue to
care?
play. I'm gonna stop right there. So is this the point where Mr.
But
Well,
Judge,
have you
he's being
identified this
asked.
being your vehicle at this time?
Yes, that's my vehicle.
Okay, and the person that's approaching the vehicle, do you know who that is at this point?
The man on the bike.
Do you recognize that to be the defendant in this case?
I haven't looked at him.
Okay, you wanna look at him?
Not really.
Okay, I understand.
No.
All right, so Counsel, you continue
No,
playing.
why would I look at the man that they killed my family?
Okay, can you stop right there, please?
And he just clocks him.
Is that
and
the way
away
that you
he rides
recall
off.
the incident playing out when your husband was struck by Mr.
I
Edgecomb?
look at this.
Yes, but can you rewind it a little bit?
Sure.
Yes, that's what I recall.
Okay, so at this time, I want you to focus in on
That
the
witness
passenger
is
door
not a traffic expert.
as we get ready to play it now. So you go ahead, Counsel. Okay, stop it right there. Can we go back, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude got sucker punched. You ever
Right
been
there.
sucker punched? It is
Back
not
up a little bit
fun.
further. Okay, let's play it again. And I want to stop it very quickly as we stop it right there, please. So Mr. Cleereman has now opened his door at this point, correct?
Are you asking me based on the video that I'm looking at?
Yes.
Or based on my recollection?
Well, we can start based off the video. Do you see a door open?
Based on the video, I see the door open ajar.
Okay. And that purports to be your husband, Mr. Cleereman, opening that door, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, he's probably
Now,
in shock from
just so
getting
that we're
clocked.
clear, at this point, you haven't had a conversation with your husband at this point. This surprised you, right?
Yes.
Your husband is struck by a punch, and then he immediately opens the door, correct?
Based on the video, but my recollection, I don't recall him opening the door.
Okay. But you don't dispute at this point, based off the video, you see that he did open the door, correct?
I'm sorry, Counsel, I can hear you.
Come on, stop badgering the
Based off this
witness.
video, you don't dispute that
Jesus,
Mr.
man.
Cleereman did open the door at this point, right?
Stop.
Yes.
Okay. Now, prior to Mr. Cleereman opening that door,
Needless
he didn't have a
bullshit.
conversation with you within a couple seconds, did he? You didn't have a conversation with your husband prior to him opening the door, correct?
No.
So, Mr. Cleereman opening the door was responsive to being punched, correct?
Does it matter? He was punched.
Well, yes.
That's
it kinda
calls
calls
for speculation.
but she was right there. She's witnessing the whole thing. She can answer if she
I
knows.
didn't realize he
Okay,
opened
can
the
you
door.
repeat the question?
Yeah, I can remember.
Yeah, because it was a
So, when
stupid
Him opening the
question.
door was responsive to the punch. That was the question right there.
Yes, thanks, Your Honor.
I don't know. It calls for
I'm not sure.
speculation.
All right, so Mr. Cleereman at this point doesn't indicate to you, I want to talk to him, right? He didn't make that statement, did he?
Mr. Edgecomb, you said?
Mr. Cleereman, Jason Cleereman, he didn't tell you, I want to talk to him.
But you mean
correct?
my husband? You mean the guy that this guy
No.
killed?
He did not at that point.
He didn't say anything to you at this point, did he?
At,
Jesus.
after he was punched, and his glasses flew off, and then he touched his face. He told me he was bleeding.
Okay.
And that was a conversation.
But he never indicated to you at this point that he wanted to talk to Mr. Edgecomb, correct?
No, he did not.
Okay, so prior to opening the door, he never said, I want to talk to him. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now I want you to now look at Mr. Edgecomb on a bike.
Ask some serious questions, dude. You're looking like a
That's
fool.
the individual that struck your husband, correct?
Yes, based on the video, yes.
Okay.
guy looks
And
like
at
such
this
a
moment, Mr. Edgecomb appears to be going straight, correct?
The corner's right a few feet from where he is right now.
But at this very moment, he's going straight, correct?
Yes.
At this very moment, Mr. Edgecomb is not posing a threat anymore beyond that punch that he just threw, correct?
Yes.
God.
Okay. So just to be clear, Mr. Edgecomb is not a threat to you at this
This guy
moment,
is such a
correct?
horrible one.
Can you ask that in a different way?
Sure. Mr. Edgecomb we're saying a couple feet away from the vehicle, correct?
He's a couple feet away from the vehicle.
The bike is now angled to go straight at this moment.
Yes.
No, he freaking assaulted him.
He's not a threat to you at this moment, correct?
He never was a
Not
threat to
me,
her.
No.
He wouldn't be a threat to your husband at this moment either, correct?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Okay. Now,
She's not an expert on this.
at this point, Mr. Edgecomb's back is to your vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just a
And
threat
you
to
have full control of the vehicle at this point, correct?
Yes.
You get to make the decisions on what you do with that vehicle as the sole person in charge of that vehicle at that moment, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Dude,
from the position we're
I
facing
don't
now,
want to go down this road
let
of
me see if I
questioning.
can make this clear. I'm now showing Ms. Cleereman what has been marked as Defense Exhibit 5 for the record.
No, they're letting him bury himself. As
All right.
painful as this is,
this-
Crystal, as
this
painful
area
as
look
it
familiar
is,
to you?
this is very
Yes, it
important that
does.
they
This is
let
a fair and
him
accurate
talk,
representation
let
of,
him do his
you know,
thing, because he's
area
burying
in which you were
himself.
on
He's making
on September
himself look
22nd,
like an
2020.
insensitive ass, which makes his client look like an insensitive ass, which makes his client look like
Okay.
Yes.
he
And you were
doesn't care.
headed, would it be east?
Makes it look like his client has
Well, you were
no
headed west on
remorse
Brady Street, correct?
because of the
West
way
on
that
Brady,
he's
And you're
yes.
going toward Holton Street, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you were on your way home that night, correct?
Yes.
And you would have proceeded the
I'm just
direction of going
cringing because
toward
this is
Holton
such
Street
horrible
and then making a
question.
left turn to go home, right?
No. I
Okay,
would
which way would you go?
continue straight
Okay, you would continue straight
onto Water Street.
to Water Street. So you would actually pass Holton Street, correct?
Yes.
There would be no reason to make a turn at all on Holton Street to go home, correct?
Correct.
Now, Ms. Cleereman, you indicated that you seen Mr. Edgecomb at the time that you had to swerve, correct?
I saw
Yep,
him
that's what he's
at the time
doing.
I had to swerve.
All right, and you would have noticed the type of
exactly what he's
attire
doing, JW.
that Mr. Edgecomb was wearing
Digging
at that
at
time, right?
Forest Cloud.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. How would you describe what Mr. Edgecomb is wearing at this moment?
A white shirt with a black vest.
Okay. And that was apparent to you at the time that you made the first incident that occurred, correct? The incident that happened prior on Brady,
What
right?
question is
Yes.
this?
You noticed that he had a black vest, white shirt, correct?
You know.
She doesn't know.
No. I can't say that I knew his attire when I swerved.
Okay. But you look back in your rearview mirror, correct?
Yeah, I focused on just the figure.
Okay. So you weren't paying attention to what he was wearing at that moment, right?
It all happened so quickly, and I was still driving.
Okay. So you don't know what he was wearing at that time through your rearview mirror, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you see Mr. Edgecomb now on the right side of your vehicle, correct?
Yes.
And were you able to see him on September 22nd at this time?
This is irrelevant. as he
No, I
will
was
be
looking for the glasses, so I don't know
when
which
he goes to prison.
way he was going.
Okay. But at some
That's a
point,
little bit
your
of
husband said, follow him, correct?
He did not say follow him.
Your husband never said follow Mr.
He
Edgecomb.
never used those words. He never said follow Mr. Edgecomb.
Is there any words that Mr. Cleereman used?
When I started driving, when the light turned green, he said, turn the corner. I want to talk to him.
Okay. Now, in order for you to know where Mr. Edgecomb was, you would have to be able to see him ahead of you, correct?
I would have to,
You have to see Mr. Edgecomb in order to go in the direction of Mr. Edgecomb, right?
No,
I wasn't
not
going
if her
in his
husband
direction.
said turn.
I was driving and then my husband turned me to turn the corner. So I didn't see him. If he went turn the corner or went straight, I didn't see him.
And when your husband said, turn right, you want to talk, he wanted to talk to Mr. Edgecomb, right?
He said, turn the corner. I want to talk to him.
So you were looking for Mr. Edgecomb so that you could enable Mr. Cleereman to get in the vicinity of Mr. Edgecomb in order for him to talk to him, correct?
I turned the corner, yes, because he asked me to. And when I saw him, I stopped my vehicle.
Okay, when you saw Mr. Edgecomb, right?
When I saw the man on the bike.
The man on the bike, okay?
Council,
I don't know who
during
he
a break
was
for
this
lunch. It's
time.
almost noon. You can pick up after lunch, but one or two more
Well,
questions.
we can pick up after lunch. I'm fine with that, guys.
All right.
Yeah, because you got to
ladies and
get
gentlemen,
your
it's almost noon. We're going to break for
freaking
lunch.
questions much better. Horrible lines of questioning that he's doing. There's a little bit more after this. Let's see what he says.
I appreciate that the jury, to my
He's going to talk to
my
them.
observation, you've all been paying attention.
them
You're all
for
here
a
on time
minute.
this morning. I appreciate you paying attention. Both sides appreciate you paying attention. We're going to continue a testimony this afternoon. As I said earlier this week, we're not going to finish today. We will most likely, I'm hoping, finish on Monday. But we'll break for lunch. It's noon. If you can be back in the jury room a little bit after 1, 5 after 1, or 10 after 1, and we'll start as shortly thereafter as possible. Again, choose wisely in the cafeteria. See you in an hour. Everybody else remain
Choose
seated.
wisely in the cafeteria. Oh, that just makes you feel good, doesn't it? About what you're going to eat. All those face diapers. Yeah, counsel isn't testifying yet. He's allowed to badger the witness a little bit.
All right, the jury's
Yeah.
out. We're off the record. We're in recess. Back at 1:15.
Oh yeah, so
I
this
did
is
want to
the-
place one thing on the record as well, or we can do that now.
Fine, we can do that
All right, thank you.
1:15.
Oof. Yeah, so that right there is where they are at with it. And let's go to here and full screen. So that was the end of that one, and then day 3 got about another hour and 37 minutes, something like that. It's like 2021.
All right, we need to put a couple things on the record. It's 1:30. The jury's back. I had a conversation with the lawyers before we called this on a couple of things. First of all, unfortunately, I'm not going to put too much detail on the record, but I discussed it with the lawyers. One of the jurors was notified over the lunch hour that she had a death in her immediate family.
Oh.
She's
Sorry to hear
basically explained it to my bailiff and asked to be excused. I told both lawyers about both sides about that situation. Obviously, we have 14 jurors. If she's excused, we still have 13, which is one more than we'll ultimately need. I think the lawyers are stipulating to her being excused, correct?
Yes. At least I am.
Was that a yes from both sides?
Yes.
And juror 18, right? Just for the record, it's juror 18. So juror 18 will be excused. In a minute, I'll have my bailiff bring in the remaining 13.
Yeah, pretty sure.
There was an issue about a potential defense witness. The state has
whenever he
some
did
additional
the
witnesses this
deleting,
afternoon.
20,
The witness that was on the
22.
stand before lunch can take the stand again in a minute. But there was an issue about potentially calling a witness out of order this afternoon. Is that correct? And it was a defense
Hey,
witness.
Catherine
and
W.
Who
from
is it again, counsel?
Arizona. Good to see you. Glad you
And the
could
state
make it.
stipulating to that witness being called out of order?
Wonderful.
My understanding is
wonderful
it's
that
only
you're
available
here.
today, so I will try to make room for him.
Fine, I'm not opposed to that. We'll try to squeeze it in this afternoon. The defense also made a request about their paralegal. I'm thinking about that. We can take that up later, gentlemen. Anything else from either side before I bring the panel in?
No.
All right. we have a witness on
No,
the
this
stand
is
again,
after
please.
Rittenhouse. This was not too long after Rittenhouse, like really shortly thereafter. Mo Raid, woohoo, Mo Raid. Hey Stacy Ann, good to see you. Mo Raid, Deborah, good to see you. Mo Raiders, everybody say hello to the Mo Raiders.
All right, the jury coming in. You can remain seated, please.
Fuzzy, welcome. Reach out and give them some love. Let them know that you really, really care. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's so awesome that you guys are making it in here, sliding on in. Oh, yeah. Yes, you probably did see me this morning. I was here. Hey, Tamarka. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Spell check kept changing mode to no. Howdy, Tammy. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, they're bringing the jury in right now. I'm gonna make sure I got my closed captioning on. Settings of speed is good. All right. We are sliding along. JD fan, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad to see you can make it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you'll notice, because you're all smart and you've been paying attention, there's 13 of you now rather than 14. Without getting into any details, the juror that was excused had a legitimate family emergency, so I've excused her. That means a couple things. I certainly need all 13 of you to hang in there, be back on Monday, continue, and the efforts you've been making so far to come to court, be on time.
Be there.
Obviously listen to the evidence. As I've said from the start of the trial, I expect the trial to go to Monday. I would now modify that to Monday and or Tuesday. That may be the bad news. The good news is when I underestimate the length of a trial, I feel compelled to bring in snacks or treats for the jury. So Monday, you'll get bagels. If we're still here on Tuesday, you might get catered buffet from Bartolotta's. So do the best we can. The witness, ma'am, you remain under oath. You understand it? Mrs. Cleereman, you understand? You were sworn to tell the truth?
I do.
All right, you can take your mask down. The defense can continue.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cleereman.
Good afternoon.
All right, so I just got a few more areas we just want to touch in, and we'll be wrapping up here soon. First thing I want to kind of go into, I want to now show what has been marked as State Exhibit number 26.
Holy moly. Look what we have here. It is the best.
Wee woo! Wee
Hey Mo, how are you?
Hello. I arrived just in time for White Claw. I feel seen. I really do.
Hey, White Claw is the going to be the downfall of this nation. I know it.
Yeah,
I can feel it in my heart.
because you can buy clearly American and a gallon of Tito's for less than a whole thing of those cans and make them as strong as you want.
Right. Ah. Oh, jeez. These people, man, I am telling you, it is so crazy. Just like the craziest stuff that you can imagine. But I
The
did get something
protesters
for you.
or the White Claw.
Well, I the White Claw, but I did get something for you, Mo. Just so you know, it's well, I guess it's just better if I show you. So give me just a second. Now don't be too mad at me. Don't be too mad at me for doing this, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I'm giving you a warning. It's okay. It really is. I'm really very, very happy.
This is hilarious. Come on.
Oh my God. It looks like I'm just crying my eyes out, doesn't it?
What is this Woody Allen Waiting for Godot
Oh
absurdity?
my God. No. What if I can't
The
get rid of this?
humanity. The humanity.
Hey, babe.
You have way too much time. It
Hello.
looks
How are you? Would you hold me?
no,
Yes?
no. This is how
No
every
holding?
omen starts.
No holding. Oh, come on. No. Okay.
Oh my God. I pray that my sons never find this, because if they
Oh my
do, there
God,
will
it
be
is
no
so
end
wrong.
to the.
It's free. It's, well, this version isn't, but it's pretty creepy, isn't it?
It's yeah. It is. It is disconcerting. I'm glad neither of us had done any illegal, illicit substances, because that would have been
That
a
would have
hard
freaked
thing
you
to
out.
watch. Yeah, if you were maybe enhanced, which
Well, the
I
worst
know
part is,
nothing about.
the worst part is whenever you show up on someone's stream and you're just like, no, really, everything's fine. I'm just absolutely good. You get that crying face. Whenever I first pulled
Okay.
that up, I started laughing. It was just like, oh my God, that's like ugly
Do
cry.
they have a
That's,
cat? Because I need the one that says,
oh,
like,
that,
Your Honor, I am not a cat. And it's just the big eyes and it looks terrified.
I think you could do that with like the Snapchat filter. Like you can put
Oh, yeah.
Snapchat filter on your computer and it'll give you like that kind of stuff. It is so wrong. It is so wrong.
Yeah. Although
Yeah.
I feel a kindred, spirit with the cat lawyer. Like, I don't know how the hell to work this thing. Can't we just go to the office? Why the hell do I have to do this?
Holy cow. We got a super sticker. Thank you, Phoenix. Oh, let's see what the super sticker is. It is a little fox doing either he's doing this number or he's showing you the number 2 finger, but like that. So it's something like that. But I think he's saying number 1. Thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate the super sticker. That's
and
awesome.
I'll go for the victory. Apparently someone really, really hated my fake English accent on my David Attenborough thing. And I was like, to be fair, I thought it was hilarious and I make these videos for me, but it was a crap accent, but I never claimed to be a good accentologist.
Yeah, I'm just doing what I like doing. If you don't like it, meh.
I was like, have you ever seen David Attenborough? He has a British accent. I have a crap one, but it works.
Yeah, it's all about having fun. But yeah, you made it in time for the White Claw. And of course, this guy is a complete idiot whenever he does the bull stuff that I mean, before lunch, he was laying into her so hard and asking her questions that I don't even think an expert could have answered, like, because they were just ridiculous questions. Well, did you see him open the door? No, I don't recall him opening the door. Well, did you see it on the video right there? Yes. Do you know why he opened the door?
Probably
it calls
because he
for
just got punched in
speculation.
the fucking face.
Well,
Maybe
no,
that's
it's
why.
just like, I don't recall him opening the door. I mean, she's like perfect witness, and it's like,
Well,
dude, why are
this
you
has
asking
been
her these questions?
a common problem with him and his strategy. He takes the view of the video camera, which is above and omniscient, and then asks the witnesses, well, why didn't you see this? Because I wasn't standing up on the, camera pole. And it's been pointed out several times to him. So the fact that he's still doing it means that he doesn't recognize patterns.
But it's because he didn't care.
Well, but for this to be an actual strategy for him, he would have to be super dumb, and I'm trying to give him a little bit of grace, but he might just not be able to understand pattern recognition.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Just plain and simple, he's an idiot.
Edgecomb should have just stuck with Friar Tuck and
What did you say, Tammy Bogard? I loved your laugh. I mean, okay, that was crazy. Okay, we were talking about the little Shizzy. Sorry, yeah. David is sort of British. They gave us their accents too, but we totally did not ask for it. This live didn't like my statement. What statement did you make? I don't know. He is pompous. He's acting clever and being a dick. Yeah.
yeah, but to
moving
act
on.
clever, you have to have intelligence, and I don't think he has that.
Oh, okay. That was after that Shizzy, but okay. Okay. I don't know. Must have been the show us. Oh, what did I see? All hail President. Oh yes, all hail President Mo. Woo! Yes, we love President Mo. I'm slow. He's slacking. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back on with this because this isn't going to be a very long portion. Plus, I'm running at faster speed.
Yes, can you yes.
What do you see in the car right
The
there?
witness, what has been marked as state exhibit number
I don't know.
26. Now, Ms. Cleereman, you recognize that vehicle, correct?
Yes,
All right, and that's the vehicle that you were operating on September 22nd of 2020, correct?
yes.
All right. Now, I want to bring your attention to the rear door. And there's what's known as an open intoxicant in that rear door,
You
correct?
sure? It's a White Claw, but it does make
It's a
water.
can.
A White Claw, correct?
I don't know if it's a White Claw or not.
Okay.
No fading away.
Now, zoom in a little bit. Can you identify that can as a can of White Claw now?
Yes, that's a can of White Claw.
You understand White Claw as to be an alcoholic beverage, correct?
It's a seltzer beverage, yes.
But it would be an alcoholic beverage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, were you given any type of citation or anything for having that open intoxicant?
Objection, Your Honor, relevant.
I don't think it's particularly relevant, but you can answer, ma'am.
Were you given a citation for having an open
Yeah,
intoxicant?
because the cops are going to
No,
give
I
her
was
a
not.
DUI test
I
right
want
after
to
her
now go
husband
into
passed
what
away.
has been marked as state 34.
Yeah, there's no relevance to asking what's in there. You sure you weren't drinking and driving?
And if she was, she must have been a contortionist to move it all the way back to behind her.
Well, that's
Or
where she
had the
put it after
presence
she
of-
got back in her car because, you know, she was drinking and driving, throwing
yeah.
beer at him. You know, they threw beer cans at him. And, like, what is the point you're trying to make here? Because he's not making any points.
Again, he highlighted the whole GD page. That is not what a highlighter does.
Jesus Christ, he did.
As an office supply purist, you are dumb. It's not how highlighters work.
It's kind of trash. Yeah. But too bad you couldn't put funny voices some of these court attorneys and judges.
However, loading was been marked as state 34. Ms. Cleereman, on
Well,
direct
I've got plenty of
examination,
funny
you
voices,
explained that
usually mine.
Mr. Cleereman just got out the vehicle because he just wanted to talk to Mr. Edgecomb,
Yeah, that would be
correct?
funny.
Sure. Sorry about that.
Can you repeat
Could you hear me?
that?
Okay. Excuse me. On direct examination, you testified that Mr. Cleereman got out the vehicle simply because he wanted to talk to Mr. Edgecomb, correct?
Yes, he wanted to find out why he was punched.
Okay. And that's what you also indicated in those media
Why he
interviews
was assaulted?
that you took immediately after this incident, correct?
The interviews with,
With the news
With the news.
interviews.
yes,
Okay. And in those interviews, you never indicated that Mr. Cleereman chased Mr. Edgecomb, correct?
I
Oh.
did not see him chase him.
You said you did not see?
I did not see him chase him.
Okay.
I saw him walking up to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I want to now go to what has been marked
Get it
as
right
State
there,
34.
Edgecombe's attorney. Lorraine.
Again, don't mess with someone who's lived with a lawyer for 35
Right,
years.
go
She
ahead.
knows the Jedi
All right. I want to
secrets.
stop right there, please.
Yes, she knows how to answer.
Now, this is the bicyclist that you identified previously today, correct?
Yes.
All right, you continue.
Sure isn't Brad.
And if we can stop right a little bit further, right here. Now,
Let's
Ms.
stop at the
Cleereman,
point
is this your vehicle?
where your husband gets to leave.
Yes.
All right, and you appear to be in the left lane here, correct?
Oh, for God's sake.
Yes.
All right.
No,
Now,
that's the right lane.
is this the point where your husband told you to follow or make a right turn to proceed after Mr. Edgecomb?
No.
Okay. When did Mr. Cleereman make that request?
I believe I was in the,
And you notice that there's, and it may just be a shadow, but it looks like there's another bicyclist right here.
Yeah. Well, again, he is wanting her to make a rational understanding of a completely irrational, out of the blue attack on her husband.
Yes.
And
She's not
if
going to do
was-
it.
Well, that's the thing. She's never going to jump off of, he just said, what the heck? Even if he cursed like a sailor. Look, she's not going to get off of that, and you look like a jerk. And did he not?
Yeah, he just needs to stop.
Did Friar Tuck not sit him down and say, "Look, B. Ivory Lamar, I know that your head is so far up your own rectum right now that you are having a hard time breathing, and passing out might be possible.
Right.
But if we look like utter schmucks to the widow, who looks much more ethnic right now than, it's gonna look real bad."
Looks more.
We already
ethnic
kind of
than-
pissed
than
off
either
the
one of
judge.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we go a little bit easier on her. But no,
Although,
no.
I mean, the only thing she did in this trial that I thought was wrong is she brought her son's like undescended testicle into the testimony, and it was like
so wrong.
I was like, damn it, Mom, why you gotta talk?
Why you gotta let everybody know about my testes?
Yeah,
It did descend, Mom. It
like
did.
seriously,
I'm a big boy now.
I get why she said it, but it was like, of all the things to come out on live, court stream,
Yeah.
is your mom talking about your berries not
your
being
undescended testicle. Thanks, Mom. Great.
Thanks. Everyone,
Thanks.
I'm gonna have my own Wikipedia page. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna
Maybe my
say,
barrel, my berry will
man.
have his own too.
Man with his undescended testicle. Finally, it descended. Thanks, Mom. That was
Very
supposed
good.
to be a family secret. We were special.
That was
But oh no.
heartwarming.
What am I going to do now? Well, I guess I'll just take my testicle and go home. My
No, Mom, you
undescended-
couldn't have shown everyone in the world the picture of me wearing a strainer and cowboy boots. Only those things. Like, we could have done more with this, Mother. I really go for the gold.
Go for the gold, Mom. My wife
And
hates me.
that is a sad thing. I wish I could take, not grossly, but I wish I could take some of those kind of candid random photos of my kids without worrying that the FBI and ATF are going to be right on my doorstep.
Yeah, going, what are you doing with these dirty pictures of children?
I'm like, she decided it was her outfit for the day.
I just thought it
I
was
needed
cute.
something to show her when she's 18 and being mouthy, okay?
Exactly. Oh, this guy's so sufferable.
in the,
Yeah.
in the walk lane for the pedestrians.
Okay, so Mr. Cleereman didn't ask you to make a right turn at this point?
I had started driving.
It could be, like I said, that could be just a blur shadow, like camera.
Yeah, it does look like
Jittering.
there's a
I'm not
second
sure if
one.
it was at that point or not.
But I think it
Okay,
could be
and just to be
camera
clear,
jittering.
to make it home, you would need to
doing that
proceed
freeze
straight,
frame
correct?
between
Yes.
frames.
And that option was available to you at that time, correct?
Available at
talking
that
about?
time where I'm at this position.
At this position, you could have proceeded straight, right?
I could have, yes.
Oh, so
And Mr.
now you're going to
Edgecomb,
blame her for
at this
this
point,
dude shooting his
Right here, correct?
wife getting
In
shot.
the bike lane, correct?
Yes.
All right, and you would agree that Mr. Edgecomb is not a threat to you at this point, correct?
Yes.
And you could have also made a left turn at this point, correct?
Yes.
Could also made a right turn,
No, but he broke
make
the
that right
fucking
turn
law.
into one of the two lanes that's available to you.
Sorry.
Most likely,
Pardon my
you
language.
probably want to make it into the closest lane, which would be the right lane, right? Let me stop. So you could have made a right turn and just proceeded straight, correct?
Jesus
Yes.
Christ, dude,
Now,
this is
might
the
be
worst,
illegal, but
worst
you also
way
had
of
a-
going. You sound like you're in
Alternative to take a
traffic
U-turn
court
if you
or
wanted to,
something.
right?
No.
Okay, well, despite the options that you had available with home being straight, you decided at this point to make a right turn, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
That right turn, was that based off of the fact that Mr. Edgecomb was going right?
It was based on the fact that my husband asked me to turn right.
Okay, so he asked you to turn right at this point, correct?
Or
Yes.
Chippy's blade stall.
All right,
Because he was like,
we can continue
hold
to
up,
play
I
the video at
haven't
this point.
reached my quota of
and we can stop right here.
young scholars to hunt this
Now,
month.
Ms. Cleereman, you're clearly positioned at this point in the right lane, correct?
Yes.
You're legally entitled to be in this lane that you're in right now, correct?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
You continue playing, please. All right, I want to stop right there. Now, you just
see what I mean?
moved in
Artifacts.
to the bike lane, correct?
It looks like that's the end of the bike lane.
Okay, but Mr. Edgecomb was in the bike lane prior to you moving in that direction, correct?
I don't know.
Can you rewind it?
Yes, and we can bring it
Yeah,
back.
let's rewind it
Let's watch this video for the 800 millionth time.
because she's still and all you have to do here, if in case you guys are wondering, this is the bike lane that he's referring to. This is Edgecomb right here. And before she even gets in the bike lane, he's going to jump off his bike because he's going to be trying to get down these stairs. And what's going to happen is she's going to pull up here out of the traffic about where he's at right now. And Mr. I'm deleted now is going to walk over here and he's going to proceed to get capped. I guess is the best way to do it.
And B. Ivor Lamar is actually talking like the police should have cited her for both going, not in the turn lane and turning and going into the bike lane just a little bit. It is a super miscarriage of justice that, she wasn't cited. Oh, and the White Claw.
Oh yeah, the White Claw. So many citations.
Did they give you a sobriety test? No,
Okay,
no, they
play it
didn't.
for me.
All right, so he already had jumped up off the curb before she pulled up there, jumped off the curb, and he's trying to walk his bike down that thing.
All right, you stop right there, please. Now, your brake lights also turned on at this point, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, Papa.
Your brake lights, you start hitting your brakes at that point that you entered into the bike lane, correct?
When I saw him, I braked. And he was already on the sidewalk.
You
Yeah.
would agree that you almost
Wait, you didn't rev
hit
your
Mr.
engine in your
Edgecomb,
Kia?
I
correct?
did not
No,
almost
you
hit him.
didn't.
I stopped far, far back from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we could go back just 5 more seconds, please.
He was already on the sidewalk. Watch. Here he goes.
You can go ahead.
And
He's
boom.
on the sidewalk.
He's
before-
on the sidewalk.
Stop it right there, please, Counsel. Now, you would agree that your
Oh, yeah, you
actions
didn't want to
in
show
driving
that.
toward that direction, Mr. Edgecomb, resulted in Mr. Edgecomb hopping the curb to now go onto the sidewalk.
I don't know. Yes, it does. Objection
Say that
calls
again,
for
Mr. Gardner.
speculation.
It's speculation. He's stating that what she did, therefore, she knows why another person got onto the sidewalk. We also know he was going down the stairs anyway, so he could have been just getting off the sidewalk.
Right, okay. Sustained. There may be
Yeah.
a different question that's allowable, but sustained.
Okay. You saw Mr. Edgecomb go into the go into the sidewalk after you turned into the bike lane, correct?
Please repeat that.
Okay. You saw Mr. Edgecomb proceed into the sidewalk after you went into the bike lane, correct?
No.
He went onto the sidewalk and then I pulled over into the bike lane and stopped.
Okay. Now, at this point, is this a point where you're saying that Mr. Cleereman is walking? He gets out the car?
Semantics of this is
He
making
does,
him look
yes.
like
Okay.
an ass.
All right, if we can play it at this point. All right, stop it, please. Mr. Cleereman he just got done walking, correct?
He's walking right now.
She pulls
No,
up. She pulls up here. So he's gotten out. He's walking.
Yeah.
She was stopped here. So she pulled here and then she pulled forward. He was already out of the vehicle right here and he's walking up to him. So she's looking directly at him.
Yeah. Well,
Whenever
and-
she's
and
looking
here's-
directly at him, he looks at her, pulls out a gun, and shoots her husband while he's looking at her.
Yeah.
And then turns around and runs down the stairs with his bicycle and disappears.
Why
for
are we
months.
making her watch this over and over again?
Because he is a
the-
shithead lawyer that has no compassion, and he thinks he's making a case about this, and he's not. You don't do this with
I know.
a widow.
Did he even look at the jurors? Because I have a feeling the jurors are about done with his ass right now.
I don't think he knows how to read a jury. I don't think he knows how to read a room. That's honestly what I think. I think he is that damn stupid that he does not know how to do a damn job. He thinks he's in traffic court. That's how he's acting. Good evening, Terry Ham. Good to see you.
He does.
Yeah, he's acting like this is a traffic citation.
All right, we can play it from this point. All right, can you stop right there? Mr. Cleereman isn't walking anymore, is he?
What?
Well, if I'm going to answer to that from what I recall, what I remember, I was already up, so I
There
didn't
you
see my
go.
husband. I was in the car, so I did not see him running.
Okay, but based off of what you've just seen right now, you've seen Mr. Cleereman walking, correct?
Based on what I saw, he looks like he's jogging a little bit, picking up his step.
Okay, and Mr. Cleereman is clearly ahead of your vehicle at this point when he's running, right?
That is not clear to me right now.
Well, she's making sure she's off the roadway.
Yes,
The attorney to speak up to.
Sure.
that's not clear to me at this
Okay.
moment.
You want to come a little closer to kind of see where Mr. Cleereman is?
Stand up and look if you're comfortable down there.
Dude, the judge is about to lose his shit.
Yes, he's in front of my vehicle.
So he's jogging to a point that was in front of your vehicle, correct?
This is not doing him any
Yes.
well.
Okay. And you would have seen Mr.
Oh, the witness is
Cleereman
on trial
jogging in front of your
for
vehicle at
you.
that point, correct?
What?
I didn't see him running that day, but based on this video, yes, I can see it.
Okay. And you were looking at Mr. Edgecomb at this time, is that right?
No?
Well, what I recall was not at this point, no.
No.
Okay, so you,
Can we, counsel, please make a record, or either of you exactly where this is stopped, since there's a lot of testimony about this.
23 seconds.
That's our,
23 seconds.
Can we see the whole video?
I'll let defense counsel ask questions after that. I'm sure Mr. Huber will follow up.
You know,
So I
his,
guess the
his,
question, Ms.
his
Cleereman,
redirect
do you
is
see
going to
Mr.
be
Edgecomb at
short
this point?
because he knows how to ask questions.
Yeah.
Unlike,
Borowski is giving a not so subtle
I can't
hint,
see
like,
him at this point from this video, no.
defense,
Okay.
hurry the hell up. I
You know,
see
showing
no
All right,
this-
we
arguments.
can play it just
Yeah.
a couple seconds.
well, for him, it's a way
stop
of
right here.
saying, basically
right.
saying that this
See
guy,
Mr.
it's his own fault for getting out of the
Edgecomb at this
vehicle.
point.
I cannot see.
Well,
No, here's
Yes.
the thing. Here's the thing. It's
He
him
is.
saying that's his own. That it's his fault that he got out of the vehicle and walked towards this guy. Now,
yeah.
think about this. Think about this. I mean, and look at it in this aspect. Just imagine if it was some random guy in a rush that he didn't notice because he was too busy paying attention to the car. Some random person, and they just sort of picked up their step a little bit because they were getting ready to head down those stairs, and he turns around and shoots this guy. Because this is not how you act in proper society. You don't get on your bicycle.
No.
You don't ride into oncoming traffic. That's not what you do on a bicycle. That is against the law. That will give you a ticket. If you're riding into oncoming traffic, you ride into oncoming traffic, and then they see you out of nowhere. They're like, "What the heck, man?" Like, I mean, even though it's just like, "Dumbass, what the fuck is wrong with you?" It doesn't matter what they said. You can carry on your own damn way. Oh no, that wasn't good enough for him. He had to turn his bike around, go ride the bicycle over there, leaving the daughter's like sushi back at the place. Never picked up the sushi. Comes riding up there, clocks the guy, and then because he didn't submit to him, he was, comes out of nowhere, clocks him, gets on, pedals off on his bike, knows that he doesn't have enough speed to outrun any sort of vehicle, and knows that he can take those stairs and just hop, skip, and a jump, and he's away. And dude like confronts him, is just like, hey, what's going on? And boom.
Yeah. And he didn't expect Mr. Cleereman to be as tall as he was, because they were about the same height, but Mr. Cleereman is built more sturdy.
Yeah.
The sad thing is that you could make a good self-defense. You have bad facts to work with, but you could make a self-defense on this. But the fact pattern is all wrong. And like Bronca always says, in order for self-defense to actually sell, people have to trust your witness. They have to trust that you were being reasonable, that you assess this threat like a reasonable human being instead of like a waste of space, corroded trash water human.
No, isn't that what you're supposed to do after you shoot somebody, is get on your bicycle and then go back to your place and hide the bicycle and then jump back, and take
Shizzy,
off.
they've never found my
and run
crime
away?
scenes yet. Because I don't write about mine. I don't put them on Instagram, TikTok, and I don't run away to Georgia and change my name to Newman or Noman. Or,
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, this just left, right, and dumbass. That's it.
Pretty much.
Just, oof.
See him on the video.
Okay, you want to come a little closer if you need to?
Yes. His opening statements, he was a grandstanding buffer. Most definitely. He just pulled the trigger once. And he shouldn't even have the
I
weapon on
cannot
him
see
in the
him on the
first
video.
place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and Ms. Cleereman, you testified that Mr. Edgecomb brandished the weapon at some point. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
whenever he-
you also testified on direct that you yelled out to your husband.
Yes, she said on direct that he pulled the weapon out, looked her in the eyes, and pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to be asking this question again?
Also, again, what kind of unfeeling sociopath makes her go over and over this? He could have made the point about, hey, you made the split second decision to turn. Why didn't you just de-escalate and go? He could have stopped at that. He could have said, was it that important, for you to, I mean, it would have been argumentative and hostile, but there's a way he could have said, you guys made the choice to continue this altercation.
Yes.
My client fled and, clearly signaled he didn't want any more. And that could have been a road. But instead, you're making this poor woman,
Relive
and God bless her for getting justice for her husband, because that's probably the only thing that's keeping her going.
Yes. Give her like 5 minutes of room with this guy, with him handcuffed and her a weapon, and you know what would happen? She would walk out of there alive, and he would too.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of person that she is. She's not inhumane. She is not an animal. She would probably look at him and go, the horrible things. I hope you rot in hell for all the crap that you put my family through, but I forgive you, is what she would do. She's that type of person. And
I'd get a good couple waxing, because I subscribe to the Jesus that flipped tables.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying that she
But,
appears to be more the type of person to be like, I couldn't live with myself knowing that.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's grown adults who have been pandered to or coddled so much in their lives that when real consequences come, it's just like the guy who did the, flying leap at the judge. He's been coddled so much and given chance after chance after chance that when real actual consequences come down, he doesn't understand what to do. And he still had his mom and his sister out there making it, well, the judge should have understood he's trying to do better for 30 days.
Yeah.
We are creating these monsters.
Warn him
Yes.
of the gun, correct?
When I saw the gun, I shouted out to my husband, he has a gun.
And you also testified to media outlets that when your husband got too close to Mr. Edgecomb, you yelled out he didn't hear you. Let's write that. Did you testify earlier that Mr. Cleereman did not hear you when you tried to yell out that he has a gun?
He did not hear me.
Okay, so you did yell out he has a gun.
I did.
Okay, and then you also testified, well, you also made statements to media outlets saying that he got so close to Mr. Edgecomb that he didn't see it, correct?
I said as he was getting close to him, he didn't see it.
Okay, so Mr. Cleereman was getting close to Mr. Edgecomb, correct?
He was,
Dude, stop asking the same fucking question, trying to change the answer that you're going to get. She stated very clearly that as he was getting closer to him, he did not see the gun. And he's going to try to make it look like, oh, he was so close to him that he didn't see the gun. That's not what he said. That's not what she said. That's not what happened.
he was coming up to him to talk to him.
Yeah, but he was the one that was advancing toward Mr. Edgecomb, correct?
Well, he sure as hell wasn't running away.
Yes.
Now I'm going to go into state
Wonky
exhibit
thing.
83. It's the during video.
Nice. I like it. Hey, Beans. Good to see you. Hey, everyone. B. Ivory, you are an idiot among idiots.
You really are a god among morons.
Yes.
Now, Ms. Cleereman, while the state's pulling up that exhibit, the option was available to contact 911 and report that Mr. Edgecomb punched her husband, correct?
Everything happened so quickly.
Okay. Mr. Edgecomb did not stop you from contacting 911 to report him, correct?
He did
No,
not
but he
stop me.
didn't stop.
Yeah,
No,
there was
he just
nothing
shot
Mr.
my
Edgecomb could do
fucking
to stop you
husband.
from calling 911 to report punching your husband, correct?
Yes, he shot my husband.
No.
That's what I would say.
So you made a conscious decision not to call 911 and kind of take matters in your own hands, correct?
No.
Okay, can you explain?
Everything happened so quickly, I was stunned. My husband got punched violently in the face. His glasses flew off of him. I'm trying to figure out how to reach down and grab his glasses and think, okay, what do I do now? And at that time, when I'm thinking all this and I'm trying to drive, my husband says, can you turn the corner? I want to talk to him. And so I trusted my husband. He was calm. He said it in a very calm voice. And so I turned.
But moments previously, you saw your husband, after being punched, open his door immediately, correct?
I did not see that,
Well, we just went over the video before.
You saw
prior
it
to
on the
lunch, where we
video.
showed the video where
but I didn't see that when I was in the car when he
Okay.
got punched.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that
These things don't correlate, you dumbass. Do you not understand correlation? Okay.
He seriously doesn't understand. He does not understand that the video.
The video
He's a
shows one
dumbass.
thing. Because here's what's happened, okay? She's telling him exactly what she remembers, not what some video is showing. And if you want me to review the entire video from beginning to end, I can review the video from beginning to end. You're asking me why I did a certain thing. Whenever I tell you why I did a certain thing, well, you saw his door open. I did not see his door open because that's not what was going through my mind. I'm not thinking about these things. If you're asking me what I'm thinking about my husband just got punched. His glasses are laying on there. I'm not sure what exactly just happened. It's a split second thing. I'm not thinking about calling 911. I'm not going to whip out my cell phone and videotape the guy. That's not what goes through my mind whenever this happens. What going through my mind is like, what just happened? I need to find my husband's glasses. Is my husband okay? Is everybody okay? And a husband says, hey, just turn right here, pull over. I'm gonna go talk with this guy. And he says it in a very calm manner. You pull over because you trust him to that he's just going to go and say, hey, if there was a problem here, let's get this straightened out. Let's have a talk like a couple of human beings. But oh no, that's not what happened.
And what he doesn't get is that she is being fair to him, because
Yes.
every minute, every other question could be, I just saw a man that shot my husband in front of me. I don't remember any of this. And I would have found it, believable, but she could have turned on the waterworks. She could have, framed everything like she was Binger, but she's actually being fair to him.
Like, yeah,
That
that's
would
why
have
I'm
ended
saying,
about the second time I watched a video for me, so she's a better person than me.
yeah, let a lot of things go that were inappropriate. Yeah, the Judge Borowski is about done with his bullshit, though.
Yeah.
He'll make
'cause-
that very clear. Yeah, her adrenaline at that point was on overload. Absolutely, Tamara. That's so correct.
You didn't know that your husband tried to open the door to maybe proceed up to Mr. Edgecomb while you were in the car.
We went over
correct?
this.
I did not see that, no.
Okay. All right, now we're at 13 minutes and 22 seconds. Now you testified on the record that, your husband didn't chase Mr. Edgecomb, correct?
He walked towards him. That's what I saw.
And you never used the word chase, correct? You didn't use the word chase, right?
Checks?
Chase. Proceed after. Pursue.
And when? Today
When?
or when?
At any time, have you ever used the words that Mr. Cleereman chased Mr. Edgecomb?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I want to go to 15 minutes and 29 seconds.
Dude, you're not. Stop playing this gotcha bullshit. It is not working well for you.
You are watching a video of a woman breaking down after she lost her husband. I'm sure this will win you a lot of points.
There's no reason to object. Just he's burying himself. I mean, here's the thing. You don't want to have too many objections if you're the prosecutor in this. You don't want to have too many objections. And B. Ivler Lamar is doing a great job at burying his client. He's doing a perfectly great job. She's not in distress. And if I was him, Welsh lady, how's it going, sweetheart? Good to see
She's
you.
holding her own. I think he would have objected if he saw her breaking up. I
Yes.
think, and they probably talked to each other like, this guy's a moron and he's going to try to, do this, that, and the other. Give me a signal. It can be something like, you opening your water bottle, drinking, or something like that. If you start feeling,
Yeah. If you start feeling the pressure, if you start feeling uneasy, if you don't want to have this discussion, give me a signal. Let me know that you don't want to continue on with this. And on top of that, whenever he hears like a question that is like completely irrelevant to it, he already knows the type of person B. Ivory Lamar is, because he's no different than a pro se, client. He's almost worse than a pro se client.
it's like he knows just enough to be moronic
Yes.
and waste time.
Yes.
He is the Lionel Hutz of lawyering.
Yeah.
So your husband got out of the vehicle at Brady, Holton, and followed the guy up here because the guy was on a bike? Okay. Then you turn the corner to follow? What happened right here? Were they fighting over here or something? Okay.
It's all hidden or stop showing this. Yeah, it's not there. What you're looking for, B. Ivory, is not there.
Okay, we'll go from there.
It's like he's looking for a magic word, like the pro said.
Yes.
Stop it right there, please. Did you just say my husband got out the car, turned the corner, and chased him?
That's what I heard.
And is that true? As you testified today, is that a true statement?
A true statement that I said it here.
Yes. Is that your recollection that he chased him?
That's what he said.
Now that
That's
you've
what
seen
she
yourself say
said.
immediately after the
Okay,
incident,
move
is that your
on.
testimony today?
Chase him or not,
I
that
don't
doesn't give you the
recall it.
right to blow him away.
You just seen yourself say that he chased him, right?
I did, but my memory from that day, I remember
should.
him walking.
And she lives with this every single day. Absolutely. Really glad. Yes.
Okay, a couple last
Does.
things. Now, you spoke before about a red SUV coming up when you approached Mr. Cleereman's body at the time, correct? It was an SUV with two people, is what you just said was standing at the scene, correct?
Thank you. Thank you,
There was
sweetheart.
a red truck behind my car and two people had stepped out of the vehicle.
Okay, and you requested the lady to call 911, correct?
I shouted
I
out
don't
in their
remember.
direction, please call 911.
Okay.
I
Now,
don't know who it was I was directing it to. Just in,
is it true that you were already on the phone with someone at the time that you requested that
Yes, I
individual
was
to
talking
call
to my
911?
family member and not a moron dispatcher that was going to ask me a bunch of questions I couldn't
I don't
answer.
recall, I don't recall being on the phone.
Okay. Was someone named Ivana?
Ivana,
Ivana.
I called her after I couldn't call 911.
Okay. All right, and you testified before that you didn't call 911 because you didn't remember a 6-digit code, correct?
I was trembling and I couldn't get my fingers to, I remember the code, I just couldn't do it.
Okay. But you were able to put the code in to call Ivana, correct?
Afterwards, yes.
Okay. And then,
I was able to just calm down a little bit and then was able to
Okay.
call her.
and what kind of phone did you have, Miss Cleereman?
It was an iPhone.
Okay. And are you aware of a feature on the iPhone that you don't have to put a code in order to make the
oh,
emergency
Jesus
call?
Christ. I don't know.
You know, no.
Yes.
I mean, I know
I'm
that
with
there's
you,
that
Mo.
feature, but I never, I just, that wasn't, my reaction was just to do the code. I was,
Shizzy, can you pause it for a sec?
All right, no more.
Yeah.
All right, not the same thing, but when I broke my ankle, I was laughing so hard because that's how I apparently deal with stuff
And
that I
deal with
could
pain,
not
yeah.
I could not accurately call Mr. Mo for about 1 second, or maybe it was a minute or two, and I was laughing so hard that he's like, "Are you joking with me?" I would not have remembered that, I could have just called an ambulance. It just wouldn't have occurred to me.
No. You're usually calling someone that's close to you. That is very common in a sense of stress, that you're calling someone that's close to you because you need to hear a familiar voice. It goes to her picking up his wallet, to grabbing that, to all of the things that she did. She needed to have family near. She knew what happened. In her mind, she knows what happened. She needs comfort at this exact moment. If one of her children would have been right there, she probably would have broke down in tears and curled up next to them, right next to his body, because you don't know how someone's going to react in this kind of situation. And him bringing this stuff back up is not doing him any favors, because he's looking crude, rude, and horrible.
Yeah. It is the same thing that they always ask people, like, you are aware that a phone will call 911. Yes, in this courtroom with no danger around, I am aware.
Yeah. Fear, stress, all of that makes you freeze. Muscle memory, because she calls her daughter all the time. How many times have you called 911? Just this past
Well,
week. How many
only
times have you called
8.
911?
I keep asking for the hot firefighters and they keep sending the regular ones. I'm like,
You're like,
y'all just,
hey, can you go back? The cat's not that important, but I'm going to put my pussy up there again so you can, like, maybe,
I'm like, do you have any of the calendar ones?
Yes, we're looking for the calendar ones.
Holding a kitten, perhaps? I'd like them to come to me.
And that's all they're holding. They're not even wearing clothes. They're just holding a kitten.
Well, they have to put the fire out somehow, Shizzy.
Well, you're not supposed to put the fire out with the cat. Just saying.
Well, I was Well, you know.
Yes, but your dad knows how to use his phone to make emergency calls. He's only had it 6 years. Yes, but he's probably going to be calling emergency much more than he's going to be calling anybody else. The last time that I dialed 911, it was forever. I've also called, I called like the non-effective police department, like because we got some issues with a property, whatever. And I'm not even sure that I got through to them. Like, I almost want to call 911 and say, hey, got drug dealers in this place. Mind going and checking it out? Yeah, it's
Wait,
not
you
every
have
day.
Amish firefighters? How does that work with the calendar? Aren't they not allowed to take photos? Just kidding. I know that they don't have a calendar.
You want an Amish firefighter calendar? Oh my God.
Can you imagine how many people I would offend with that?
I am
So many.
going to, I know what my next project is for you.
Oh my gosh.
wanna
AI.
AI Amish firefighters.
If the barns are smoking, there's some.
Amish. Okay, I'm writing it down because I'm doing this for you. Amish firefighters
Yeah.
calendar edition.
This is how AI takes over. I just keep feeding it with my crazy ideas.
Yes. I love it. Tammy Bugard is like, oh my God. That's who they've been sending to you, Mo. No, they've been sending B. Ivory's to her. But he's finished. This is his last
And I
question.
keep-
He has no further questions.
Oh, thank God.
But of course, he'll have some sort of redirect to the redirect, I'm sure, because he's an
Oh,
idiot.
God.
Further questions for you. Thank you, Mr.
But you saw it
Thank
on
you.
the video.
Stayed.
Yeah, huh?
And
Man,
he's
I just want to, staying on that phone call portion of it, you indicated once you were able to calm down, you were able to call Ivana. Is that correct?
Yes.
he
What got
just
you
sits
calm
the
down?
thing down like, I don't need this.
Once I knew someone called 911.
And then defense counsel had previously asked you some questions about stating that, when you went to the body and you put your hands on your husband, you realized he was dead. And then they played you this one small snippet where you asked an officer if your husband was okay. Do you remember that questioning from earlier in the morning?
I do.
Okay. And defense counsel was saying, well, if you asked the officer if your husband was dead or if he was okay, that must have mean that you weren't touching or knowing that your husband was dead at the time. You stated you were in shock at the time, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to play the portions of that scene, but I want to play the entire portion like we did earlier so we can put that in context. Just one moment.
Oh, he has got this like queued up, ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Because with the power of Diet Cokes ×3, he will set the rage monster free.
Oh, and
He's a witch.
here's the thing. Oh, look at this right here. Look at this right here. This interaction between these two. He's looking at him going, yeah, that was a really stupid question to ask. And he's going, huh? Like,
Yeah,
what?
B. Ivory's like, oh, so this is how a lawyer acts.
Yeah, because it was, you don't take shit out of context and try to play it for somebody, because defense, the prosecution or the defense, whichever side it might be, if it's, you take something out of context, they are going to make sure to put it into context. And then it becomes very clear that you were making a statement that was not entirely true about somebody. And that is what will screw you up.
Yeah, and there's nothing a jury hates more than if I were sitting there taking notes and I had written a note with your theory and then I realized you took it out of context. I'm gonna be pissed off
Yeah, you're going to be scratching that
because you
little thing
think
out
I'm dumb enough to just
to fall
take
for your
your
bullshit.
to
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he wants to act like it. He wants to blame everybody except for his client. He's thinking that's how you prove reasonable doubt. Although dude's
Theodore
already
Edgecomb over
admitted,
here.
although he's already admitted to deleting the guy.
He's like, I should have gone to a Florida lawyer.
I should have got Bronco.
And Bronco would have said, you're not a premium member of the, Bronco Society, so I can't take your case now.
I can take your case, but it's going to cost you
Sorry,
a
our
lot of
equipment
money.
sucks. It's in a building built in the 30s.
He's like, knowing Bronco, he'd just walk in and say, I can't defend your client from stupidity.
Yes, our equipment in this building
Drop the
is
file and walk out.
archaic. It's terrible, pathetic, embarrassing. And that's the best I can say about it.
I love him.
I love Borowski.
He is such a service to mankind.
Now, ma'am, and for the record, Your Honor, I have State's Exhibit number 83 currently set up. This is Officer Doring's
Here it comes.
squad
Put it in
cam,
context.
and it shows, and what has already previously been played. Just so we're clear, man, we can see you in the back. Is that correct? Let me play it for you so you can see it a little bit better.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I love how he's subtly putting all the
And
sound
pausing at
up.
3507, do you see yourself?
Yes,
And you're in the back of the squad by yourself, right?
yes.
I sure with
Play
anybody
from that
else.
portion.
Please turn it around for you.
See your message.
Right.
Pausing at 39 minutes and 24 seconds. You stated no one's going to love me like you love me, my love. Is that correct?
Yes.
Dude,
Continue.
The Ivory Lamar, get up and ask one fucking stupid question.
yes. It's heartbreaking.
And it's also, she seems like the type of person that doesn't break down in front of people.
Yes.
So it feels so invasive that we get to watch this. Or we have to watch this because B. Ivory
pausing at
Lamar made a
37:05.
point.
That's when we hear you say he's
Yes.
okay, right? Is that right?
Yes.
After you had sobbed and exclaimed that no one was ever going to be able to love you like your dead love, your dead husband would ever be able to.
Yes. He loved me so much.
Was this a traumatic experience for you?
It was very traumatic.
Maybe you were hoping for one moment that it was a bad dream, but you knew your husband was dead, right?
Overruled. You can answer.
Yes, I was hoping this was a bad dream. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe somebody could do this.
And just taking
Yeah.
one small portion of what happened in the back of that squad and playing it without the full context leads you to a different conclusion than what actually was going on back there, doesn't it?
Overruled, that was a question. You
Shut
can answer.
up,
We're gonna need to use the
B.
microphone
Ivory.
here.
Right, everybody needs to use the mic, please.
Ma'am, let me just put it to you this way. When someone takes
All I can say is stupid.
The room. This woman is is doing
This guy
a
over here is just
king
fucking
cry,
clueless.
and he's like, "Objection, this hurts my case."
Yeah, that was the shittiest thing. Like I said, you don't take shit out of context, because they will use this crap and they will put it into context. You want to take
Yeah.
one little portion, and this is, sorry, I'm going to get a little political here. So if you don't like politics, then just you can just mute
this
for
for
like the
5
next
seconds.
for like 5 seconds. This is the kind of bullshit that the left tries to pull whenever they're dealing with Trump. They take it out of context. They take just a little snippet of it, and they don't play the whole thing in context. This is why they don't have the shit happen in a court of law. In a court of law, whenever this shit is brought out and you hear the things in context, you go, "Oh, that was really stupid." Stupid. Okay, political rant over.
Just 1 second out of all of that anguish and only puts in that one question. That makes it kind of look different than what we just saw, doesn't it?
Yes.
Ma'am? I'm sorry. Thank you. Nothing else.
Nothing further.
Anything else?
That's all that he had to do. That's all he had to do was like put that one thing in context, and that right there tanked the case. No matter what they say after this, it's like you can't trust them now. You can't trust the defense. Like, because they want to play the race card. They want to play all the little political bullshit instead of actually just going by the law.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is the same thing that the Jennifer Crumbly case did.
Yep.
Her defense obviously did not talk to her about how she should have answered this question, and she shouldn't have even asked this "do you feel like a victim" question, because I guarantee you everyone on the jury was like, "I'm done, I'm out."
Yep.
She said,
Yep.
I'm a victim too, we're out."
Yep. That was the worst thing.
I would have.
Yeah. Yeah. Defense doesn't do a whole lot for you sometimes.
No, Your Honor.
All right, you can step down, ma'am. You can step down. You're done. Thank you.
Here's the worst part about it. There's a bunch of people in that courtroom that are calling her a liar, calling her a piece of shit, calling her a racist, calling her husband a racist. This is the kind of attitude that's going on in the courtroom that you don't hear, that you don't see, because they're trying to keep it toned down. And this is why Borowski is so pissed off, is because you've got a bunch of rabble rousers in there starting shit. Like, and you don't realize this, but that is exactly what's going on there. Yeah, that was a total mic drop for prosecution.
They were wanting to correlate this with the Kyle Rittenhouse case and claim it was, systemic, all the isms and phobias, that this poor, gentleman had to defend his life. The fact pattern was never there, and you had some lawyers putting it up like it actually was there.
Yes.
And that is the interesting thing about cases, is that we can all see them through our lens. But
Who's the state's next witness?
So rough. Luckily that one was over.
yeah. I still have yet to see second lawyer do anything but hand him Diet Pops.
Hey,
But to be
Call
fair,
Detective
he has
Kirkhope.
don't need this guy's on top of it. You don't need anything more.
Sorry, you've been promoted.
He's able to do this with one hand tied behind his bald head.
You raise your right hand, Sergeant.
Well, he's fighting B. Ivory Lamar in a battle of wits. He doesn't need both hands.
I don't even think he needs all fingers.
Tyler Kirkvold, Tyler Kirkvold.
Stay, proceed.
Thank you. Now, Sergeant, how are you employed?
I'm a sergeant with the City of Milwaukee Police Department.
And how long have you been with the Milwaukee Police Department?
About 14 years.
How long have you been
You
a
take
sergeant?
care. Have a
I was
wonderful
promoted to
evening.
sergeant in September of
Yes.
2021.
Be safe.
And
Absolutely.
prior to being promoted to sergeant, how were you employed?
I was a detective with
Is
the City
this
of
the
Milwaukee Police
bike
Department
trend,
for
like-
approximately 6 years.
The
What was
bike
your
expert.
assignment back in September
I
of
don't think so.
2020?
I was a detective assigned to the Milwaukee Police Department's homicide unit.
Who was your partner at the time?
Detective Alex Klabundi.
Now, I want to draw your attention specifically to the homicide of Jason Cleereman that occurred on September 22nd of 2020. Were you employed as a homicide detective on that day?
Yes, I was.
Were you involved in that investigation?
Yes.
All right. Now, to begin with, were you involved in any way, along with Detective Klabundi, in an attempt to find security video at various different locations?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, there were a number of different security videos that were grabbed from various different places along the flight path of this suspect. Am I right?
That's correct.
At the time, did you have any idea who the suspect was?
No.
One area that I would like to talk to you about is Zanya's Pizza. Are you familiar with that place?
Zena's, yes.
Zana's? And in terms of that, in terms of that particular location, was there any video that was recovered from that location?
Yes.
Were you involved in the recovery of that?
Yes.
Now, regarding that pizza, or regarding that video, when did you go to get it?
That was on September 25th of 2020.
Okay. And I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 52 and place it in the computer here. And as it pulls up, when you went to Zena's, or however we pronounce it, the pizza place, what were you looking for?
I was looking for any video that would potentially capture the incident or the suspect.
Just to be very clear, we know that the homicide occurred kind of around the corner from Brady on Holton. Is that correct?
Correct.
We know that the punch happened just off of the pizza place, kind of a little bit to the west, and was captured on pole cam. Is that right?
That's correct.
So even though Milwaukee Police Department had the pole camera and had some video from Casablanca, you still went out to this pizza place to see if they had any video?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you were looking at the video, Sergeant, did you find any video that was of any relevance?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, I want to show you, and I have currently on the big screen, what is labeled Channel 5. Are you familiar with the location of where we're looking?
Yes.
Okay. So, as we're looking at this location, what street are we seeing here?
That's East Brady Street.
Okay, and what are we seeing right here?
That's the front of Zena's Pizza.
Okay, and if we go beyond
Oh,
Zena's,
this is gonna be
what are we
good.
seeing?
East of Zena's is Casablanca.
Okay, and I'm just going to place this on the large screen. So if you are looking down this camera, if we're seeing, we can see the front of in front of Casablanca. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this time hack that we have has it at approximately 7:37 on September 22nd. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is the suspect going to be seen doing anything prior to this incident, about 10 minutes prior to this incident, on this video?
Yes.
What?
He's just going to be seen walking eastbound down the sidewalk with his bicycle.
Playing from that portion? And pausing at 38 seconds, we can see this suspect bicyclist
This is, I believe, is after he
basically
shot
walking with
him.
his bike on the north side of the street, going past the pizza place, past Casablanca, and heading further west. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Sergeant, going forward to approximately come back just
Well,
a
and
little
see,
bit.
B. Ivory Lamar opened up. There was all this time that Theodore Edgecomb
To 9 minutes and
could have
21
called
seconds.
911.
As we are
Don't point out that someone didn't call
looking or
911
discussing
when your
this Zanni's
client
Pizza,
didn't.
are we eventually going to see the suspect riding his bike back westbound?
Yes.
Okay, playing from that portion. We can see what appears to be a truck pulling out, right?
Yes.
Okay. And pausing at 10 minutes and 45 seconds, we can see the suspect bicyclist now heading westbound. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as we're looking at this, you got a significant period of about 10 minutes. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Does the period of 7:45 p.m., would that be recorded in this?
Yes.
Recorded in this video camera?
Yes.
Right? Did you watch all
That
of
is
this
so
clip?
awesome.
Did you see?
That is so awesome right there. That is the best news.
Yes.
That makes me so very happy.
Yes, I love that. Like the Amish firefighters, the UNC frat boys, and a couple other things have kept me going today because I don't know why, and it's not even my doctor's appointments, but after running everyone hither and yon this entire week, I was just like, I just need to make it through the end of this day.
Dude, that just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just awesome. Oh,
I love that your doctor just was like, you're fired. Don't I like you, but I don't want to see you anymore.
yes. Congratulations, brother.
Yes.
See anything happening in front of Casablanca at 7:45?
No.
7:45 p.m. or 7:45 on the video?
7:45 p.m. on this video. Do you see anything?
No, I did not.
Okay, so just so we're clear, one of the things we're also looking for is this first incident where the Cleereman swerved around the bicyclist who's on the north side of the street. If that had happened anywhere by
I have no idea how to celebrate that kind of win. I really don't. I mean,
Well,
I'm not
let me see
stripping.
here.
I'm not stripping.
Here, I will christen my little. I need to stay off TMU, but oh my God, it's a bedazzled Stanley Cup shooter thingy.
Cheers. You christen it?
Yes.
I'll pour something here too.
Yep.
Raise a toast to Cynthia, because this is such good news. I mean that. If everybody could only be so lucky, that is so wonderful.
Oh, for you stupid piece of crap. I have to yell at my
Well,
chair.
Well, and you should be relieved, and you should be relieved. You just let me know whenever you're ready, there, sweetheart.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, there you go. For you.
For you, Cynthia.
A not White Claw from Aldi's.
Yes. Cheers.
My son was like, "Can I have this?" I said, "No, this is my new thing. If you touch it, I will hurt you. Stop."
Oh my God, that just is that is such great news. I mean,
Yeah.
it just makes me happy. I don't recommend the following to anybody who has cancer. The numbers were always in my favor when I had surgery. I didn't do chemo or radiation. Is a conscious decision. I think I chose right.
You have
No,
to make
yeah.
your choices for you. You know how your body
Exactly.
reacts to stuff.
Exactly.
And the doctors can only guess how your meat suit is going to react to things because my daughter had an MRI for her shoulder and she thinks, my daughter is a hypochondriac of the highest order. So she's like, my arm is red and is getting hives. And I said, okay, well, why don't you take some Benadryl when you get home? And if you're not having trouble with, breathing, I think you're fine. I think you're getting Twitter pated.
My oldest puppy was diagnosed with leukemia. As you know, there is no cure for that.
No.
That was earlier this year. Yeah. Like I said, a whole bunch of shit sort of hit at once.
I know, God
and-
front loaded this year.
Yeah. So he was not doing well. He had his count, I think it's white blood cell or something like that, had really drastically increased, which means usually there's an infection. And around his neck, he started swelling. He wouldn't eat breakfast really well in the morning. He was slowing down. And we already knew that he'd been diagnosed with leukemia. He's 13 years old, so he's not a young pup anymore. And we took him in, and they were just like, well, we can put him on chemo, which means that he can't lick you, you can't touch him, just like so many restrictions.
Yeah.
Or we can put him on prednisone, I think is what it is.
Yes.
So we put him on prednisone, and he went back last week, and they're just like, his white blood cell count is absolutely normal. He's just as healthy as he could be. The swelling went down. He's got an appetite. He's on prednisone, like half one of these little tablets every other day. And just like, he's livened up so much, has an appetite, and it's so, yeah, good news. Good news is always good news, no matter where it's coming from. So like I said, congratulations, firefighter. Cynthia, this is awesome. Just awesome news. It makes me it makes me feel so good, to hear something good coming out of this year.
I know the feeling.
Casablanca, that there was some missing video from 745 from Casablanca. This would have also captured it, right?
Yes.
Was there anything that happened at 745 in front of Casablanca?
No.
Your Honor, the state would move State's Exhibit number 52 in evidence.
Any objection?
No.
Received.
Friar Tuck is like, oh my God, how did I get stuck on this case?
Well,
This is why I'm bald.
here's the thing. B. Ivor Lamar is trying to make a case that because they couldn't find any video surveillance, that the state must be holding back information.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, there's no information there. We don't have it. If there was anything, we would have it. We don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, because the cops, despite what B. Ivory Lamar and people at BLM would think, most cops want to do a good job. So they were, looking like, hey, maybe they really did cut him off. Maybe there was an inciting, so he would fear for his life because maybe they tried to, with a Kia Soul, try to run him over with a hairdryer motor. And but the cops weren't going in, thinking, gosh, I'd like to screw someone's life over just because they're a different pigment than I am.
All they knew is this guy shot somebody. They didn't even know who it was. And they're trying to preserve all the evidence they possibly can. And there was none there. Mm-hmm.
And I do like that the state alludes to that in the closing, which I found was really powerful and really on point to show this, because I think it was mentioned when we first saw this trial live that even the police that were brought on were like a whole cornucopia of United Benetton, the now, mix of all things kind of commercial families that you have to see.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, why? How is your dad from Korea? And you're like, it's
Right.
not supposed to make sense.
I'm trying to make this go as quickly as possible here. Were there a number of stills that were created from various different camera angles and security camera angles in an attempt to identify the suspect?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. There was one from Swing Park, is that right?
I don't know if I ever saw that still. I did see a still from Casablanca video.
And when this is happening, you are aware that the Swing Park video, even if maybe there wasn't a still, that it captured the suspect after the shooting, is that correct?
Yes.
What did it show?
One of the camera views at Swing Park depicts the suspect coming from a walkway, which in that walkway is the stairwell.
Uh-huh. We already have them here. I don't know what you're talking about. They keep crossing the southern border.
Where this homicide occurred at. The homicide occurred at the top of the stairwell. The suspect is
All right,
depicted
that's
after
so
the
bad.
homicide, exiting this walkway and coming out onto Water Street, getting on his bicycle and traveling, it would be northeast on Water Street on his bicycle.
And when you're saying northeast on Water, just going to come back here for one moment to defense exhibit number D5. If we're on Holton and we're on Brady, and the stairs kind of go down towards Water Street, is that correct?
Yes.
Swing Park would be underneath Holton as it goes over North Water Street?
Yes.
Okay. As you go down to North Water Street, are there businesses or establishments that are kind of further east on North Water?
Yes.
What are those?
You know, and I'll say this, JW, if he's doing this is just so he can pander to the hardcore left. That's all. Like I said, he's in a tough spot if he wins the next election. And I'll just leave that hanging up there like I just walked through the room and carpet bombed it. That's all.
There's some taverns located in that area. There's farther northeast.
Off of this camera.
Off of the map, Water Street bends to the east and ultimately turns into East Kane Place as it intersects with, East Kane Place as it intersects with North Humboldt. At that intersection, there is Bel Air Cantina, and there's also a tavern called Fink's.
And Swing Park shows that the biker, kind of at a distance, ends up going towards that location on Water Street. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Is this going to be kind of the beginning of MPD's attempts to follow him from security camera to security camera to see if maybe you can see where he goes?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, they're tracking everywhere that he goes, so they know basically who he is. So they can
All right,
figure
please
this
take
out
exhibit number
pretty damn
53
quick.
into the computer. It's also warming up.
Yes. Oh, he hates that damn system.
And when you are saying Fink's, where is Fink's?
Fink's is located on the southwest corner of the intersection.
Are they saying things or
Kane and Humboldt.
things, like rat thing?
Or Water and Humboldt.
Okay. So Kane became water.
I want
and
to
then
say
kind of
Sphinx,
is gonna be continuing
like
westbound, is that correct?
sphincter.
Correct. Kane starts at the right side of the screen. Water ends
It's
at the
not
left side.
named
of the
for a
screen.
tavern, but we love going there. It's a little hole in the
And
wall.
this is, if we're going to be looking at this, was the time
it Sphinx,
portion
short
of the
for
rat Sphinx, was
sphincter.
it off or was it accurate?
It was off. It was slow by 26 minutes, approximately.
How many?
Approximately 26 minutes, I believe.
Okay. So playing from this portion at 8 seconds into the video. And pausing at 7:24. So this is after the homicide, is that correct?
Well,
Correct.
thank you very
And-
much. It made my
The bicyclist, individual,
to do it.
stops for red light. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see the firearm anywhere on his person at this time?
No.
Okay. Are you able to get a good picture of his face at this time?
No.
Playing from 15 seconds. Now, pausing at 29 seconds. The bicyclist then did go through the red light, right?
Yes.
All right, well, no one gave him a ticket for that, did they?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Now, this is Raspberry. What's across the street from there?
Across the street is Bel Air Cantina.
Both of these would be establishments, people
It's
in
not
them,
too late.
phones, things like that?
Yes.
Okay. Our suspect on the bicycle crosses in the red and then kind of just gets in the middle of the street, as we saw. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would move State's Exhibit number 53 in evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
Fine, received.
You stated that across the street was Bel Air Cantina. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of Bel Air Cantina, was there also video that was obtained from that place?
Yes.
If he was a cat, he'd be a grumpy cat. The police officer. He just looks so world weary and
Just going back to
like
0 seconds into the
Danny
recording.
Glover
As we're seeing here,
and 2 days from retirement, damn
this
it.
shows us September 22nd. Is this camera accurate in terms of time?
No.
And how did you determine that this camera was off, Sergeant?
We watched the live feed of the video camera and compared the timestamp to the actual time, and we were able to determine that this camera was approximately 1 hour and 50 minutes slow.
So there appears to be a lot of cameras in the city of Milwaukee business establishments that have time hacks that are inaccurate.
That is correct.
Okay. Across the street, what are we looking at here?
Finks.
Okay. And if we're looking, we can see there's a number of people just kind of out on the street, right?
He's saying
Yes.
thinks.
Playing from this portion at 0 seconds. Pausing at 16, we can again see the same bicyclist suspect stopping for the red light, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Playing from that portion. And pausing. The suspect disappears from view, is that correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state removes state's exhibit number 51 in evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
Received.
Thank you.
Just
Now,
keeps breaking the law.
that was the portions of the video you guys were looking for and continued on trying to find the suspect, is that correct?
Yes.
What was the point of following these videos down this line that you could find?
There were 2 goals that we had. One goal was to attempt to get a clear video of the suspect's face in order to help identify him. The second goal was to try to figure out where he was going in order to identify him.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as state's exhibit number 86 and 87 and 88. You had indicated that you were familiar with stills that were taken from Casablanca as well as Finks and Bel Air Canteen, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, showing you it's been marked as 87, does that appear to be at least that one still from the Finks establishment?
Yes.
Okay. And if we turn it over, where does that appear to be from?
That appears to be a still from the Bel Air Cantina.
Okay. Showing you what has been marked as state's exhibit number 86, that's one of the ones from Casablanca on the front page, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then on the back, what do we see?
That is another still. It appears to be from Finks.
Okay. And 88, what are we looking at there?
This is a still that I believe came from Casablanca.
Okay. You can kind of see the Casablanca in there, is that correct? The Casablanca right there in the photo, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, what does B.
Now,
Ivory
at this
Lamar
moment
ask
that
him?
you are
Like,
looking
are you
and
sure you
attempting
didn't change the
to
videos?
Follow the suspect.
And
This is all you got,
AI,
right?
my
Yes.
client.
Well, let's find out because
The prosecutor seems like he's
Because-
just asking normal state questions. I just want to hear the morality that becomes so fluent and lyrical with
The video
under
I
the
testified to, what
tutelage
have you
of B. Ivory Lamar.
yes, that's what we're looking for. Stupidity.
Oh God,
Tina.
this
and from Zena's
detective is
Pizza
one day
and
from
Lakefront Brewery.
retirement, and he
so
had to
who
deal
downloaded
with
the
B.
video
Ivory
from
Lamar.
Yeah.
Detective Fidel downloaded the poll cam video.
Okay, so Detective Fidel would have been able to view all the evidence, all the video that was available, correct? Right? He would view everything that was available from the poll cam footage, correct?
I don't know what exactly he did and how he did his portion of this investigation. I just know that he did obtain a portion of video from the poll cams.
Okay, let's take away this situation for a second. I just want to talk generally, what is the proper procedure? So generally, when you go to Fusion, you would look at
Generally, I wouldn't be sitting here answering stupid questions from a moron like you. Generally.
all the video footage and determine what parts are relevant.
Generally,
correct?
I would ask why you're
Yes.
wearing a woman's
And then
cut
you would,
on
you would
your,
have the sole
on your suit.
responsibility of deciding what is relevant and what is not, so that you could determine what parts you want to download, correct?
Correct.
It's so damn
So we
tight.
came
He's got
to
shoulder
the
pads
video
in.
that was produced from the poll
Come
cams
on now.
that would face Brady Street, where you captured a punch,
Well, he's
right?
He needs
The
to
punch
work
was
on
captured
the
on
upper
poll
body
cam.
strap.
And then there was also the incident was captured on poll cam as well, correct?
Yes.
And you've had opportunity to review that footage that was captured, that was downloaded by Detective Fidel, correct?
Every detective on the unit has the opportunity to review any video that's obtained.
Okay, I'm not interested in other detectives right now. You had the opportunity to review that footage, correct?
Yes.
Yes, but I'm telling you, everybody has the opportunity to review it.
The thought bubble is like, he's really not this stupid. I'm being punked. Where's that Ashton Kutcher kid?
It's like, are
He's
you
like,
really this
"This
stupid, or you
asshole's
just
a
play this
lawyer?"
stupid for the TV cameras? I'm trying to figure it out, son. You tell me.
He's like, this don't math.
Because you are looking stupid. So stupid.
All right. Now, when you looked at the 1 minute and 34 seconds of video, did you make any other inquiry as to any other video that might be relevant?
No.
You decided that 1 minute and 34 seconds was relevant, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, do you recall who was the first officer on scene on September 22nd of 2020?
I don't know
Jesus
who the first officer on
Christ.
scene was.
Okay. If I represent to you that Officer During was the first officer on scene, would you have any reason to deny that?
No, because I know that he was on scene.
Okay. Now, the state just asked you questions regarding about the first incident, right?
About the first incident?
Well, about video that was related to Casablanca, correct?
Yes.
And you testified that from the video footage that you reviewed, you didn't see any incident that occurred on the video from Casablanca, correct?
No.
Can you tell the members of the jury where did the first incident occur?
I didn't testify to what I viewed on Casablanca video. I testified to what I viewed on Zena's video.
I'm sorry?
I didn't testify to what I viewed on Casablanca's video. I testified to what I viewed on Zena's video.
Okay, so you didn't. So when you just were up here, when the state were asking you about what the video from Casablanca would have shown, you're saying.
Yes, and you can only do a cross-examination on things that he's testified to, unless you're going to bring in new evidence. If you want to bring in the new evidence, then we have the right to redirect on this. You can't just bring it. You just can't bring in a whole bunch of bullshit from some other place. You can only bring in what is being brought in here. And whenever you redirect, whenever he clears up those questions, basically he's clearing all the shitstorm that fucking B. Ivory created because he's a goddamn moron.
It is remarkable how much he just doesn't get the point. Again, I have to hope, because he is able to both dress himself allegedly and walk and chew
His
gum
mother
at the
dresses
same
him.
time.
Don't be fooled. His mama dresses him.
Okay, he can at least work the button bits, okay? So
I'm
he
a
has to be
happy
more
boy.
intelligent. He has to be more intelligent than I give him credit for. But how could you screw this up so badly? I mean, we
Saying
were
that you didn't
joking in our mock trial.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. we
you're
were
a
having
real
fun.
damn lawyer.
Yeah, he's supposedly. I could do a
Well-
better job defending B. Ivory than this guy could.
I can't defend B. Ivory, but I could sort of defend Edgecomb by saying, look, Your Honor, my client's a moron. We concede.
Amy, I love the voice. Makes me sound sexy, does it not? I don't sound sexy. If you want my body, just reach out and touch me. Come on, baby. Let
If
me know.
anyone's attracted to the chipmunks, I think that's a bigger problem.
There you go. There you go.
If someone does find that very attractive, like, you know, that hits a special part in my fun parts. I run.
It's not
run
fun.
fast
Run.
away.
Yeah, run away from that. If you find that sexy, just run away. Just go very fast.
Well, let me introduce you to the Beatles. They also sang in falsetto.
Yes. So does my wood chipper, but you know that's a different story.
Video from Casablanca, correct?
Correct.
So the 7:45 p.m. video from Casablanca is not what you were referring to when the state was asking you that question, correct?
We were speaking about Zena's video.
Okay, so you never seen video at
Okay.
7:45 from Casablanca, correct?
I observed stills from Casablanca, but I may have seen the Casablanca video, but I'm not certain.
Okay, so
Your Honor, just one thing. Zena's Pizza also captures Casablanca. So whatever happened in front of Casablanca was on the Zena's Pizza. That's what we're referring to.
Let's clarify. Go ahead.
Detective Kirkbold, do you know where the first incident would have occurred at that involved Mr. Edgecomb and the Cleeremans?
By
Yeah,
first
whenever you
incident,
rode up and punched the guy in
are
the
we
face.
talking about the punch?
I think he needs to clarify. This man's an alleged first incident because he never saw it on video.
No, sir, we're not talking about the punch.
Did
There
it,
are
did it,
allegations in
got
this
him.
case that involve a vehicle striking Mr. Edgecomb, pushing him onto another vehicle with a word being yelled out, "What the heck," or "What the fuck."
Wait, now see, here's things that he's throwing in there that are
Yeah,
not in
like-
evidence, that there's been no proof of, saying that they struck him with a vehicle and rammed him into another vehicle.
Now he
Facts,
did
not
like
in
4
evidence.
cartwheels, like evil freaking Knievel.
Oh
with a
yeah, and then
cape
he just jumped on his bicycle after it got rammed into another car because nothing got damaged there, and he
Because
pedaled
we
as
haven't seen
fast as he could.
signs. If, you know, if, oh God, what's his face? If what's his face wife couldn't, you know, survive it, I'm sure Theodore Edgecomb, for the love of all that is holy, don't make me
Yeah.
have to remember an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Here's the thing, and I can almost picture what happened because I'm an idiot and I used to ride a bicycle, you know, whenever I was a kid and do just stupid, really stupid shit. He came out of nowhere and she was probably driving just a little bit too fast, because it does happen. You're going, I'm doing about 35. She might be doing 37. You're still going a little bit too fast, whatever. And all of a sudden a bicyclist pops out in front of you. You like freak out, you swerve, whoever's riding with you is like, what the, you know, what the F?
Yeah.
What, you know, like they didn't see it coming either because they're having a conversation and you're just like, oh, well, you know, time to move on, whatever. And you look up, you see that you look in your rearview mirror and dude is still pedaling on his bike. He's still going. You're like, what an asshole. All right, but let's just head home. We're almost there. We're just a few blocks away. Not even worth dealing with.
Again.
And all of a sudden, dude he got so pissed off because all he saw was a white dude in this little Kia Soul, and white people are not supposed to be driving Kia Souls because it's not a white person kind of car because of the rats. You got to be a rat to ride one of those, you know, one of those dancing rats. And he didn't look the right way. He said something that might have been misconstrued as mean. So he decided to ride up and say, hey, asshole, are you talking to me? He goes, yeah. And next thing you know, he's getting clobbered.
Yeah.
At what point did Edgecomb go, ooh, that was pretty damn close?
At what point did he lose his agency? Is it because this magical word was uttered and therefore he has lost all ability to control himself? Again, after the last 4 years we've had, people are getting real tired of this magic word. It's a rude word. It's a terrible word. None of my kids will ever say it. I won't say it.
Nope.
No one I hang out with, I think, would ever say it, but it's a word. And we have gone to tell people that words are violence now.
Oh, I worked with a guy that lost his freaking ever living shit over that word. Because there was another guy in the shop that just happened to be a different color, that happened to be playing that kind of music, that just happened to have that word multiple times. Yeah, he got upset, pissed off, freaked out. He flipped out on the dude, just about beat the ever living snot out of him. I was like, really? Like, really? And then he came to me, it was just like, hey, you think they're hiring over here? I was like, dude, no. No, because you're not going to survive. You're not going to survive 10 seconds over here. If that word triggers you that much, then you've got serious issues that you need to get checked out. Because I've got a Vietnamese guy over here that uses that word on a daily basis. Okay. He says it all the time. Like, what's up, Matt? Hey, yeah, that's the guy that works right next to me. If you can't handle it from some guy singing lyrics to the song just because he happens to be the wrong color for whatever music that it was, you're not going to do very well in this shop. And no, I won't give you a recommendation whatsoever.
Well, that's the thing. Again, we have lowered expectations of self-control so much that, you know, words are literally fighting words. You know what? Bring back dueling. I'm
Yep.
about done with it. I'm pretty sure Gary, Indiana is completely empty. We can have a whole town dedicated to, you know, settling fights the old-fashioned way, from Nerf guns to true Mortal Kombat. I'm kind of
Detroit.
done with everything.
Detroit Rock City, man.
Well,
Detroit's the same way.
I want to make.
You want
I
to make
think if
Gary
we
famous
set up,
again for dueling?
well, I think if we set up, you know, dueling fields, I think that Detroit would actually come back to life, because you have a sanctioned place where, let's be
Yeah.
honest, these people that have never lived in the even zip go take care of their own selves.
Yeah.
They know that there will be the harshest punishments known to man if you carry out shenanigans in the city.
Yeah, you
So
have
you
to
can either
remember
have
that.
your
You remember have to public hangings and public beheadings? People would come to see that. And if you could charge people to come see those. They'd come to see the dueling.
Hey, our deficit would be done in like 2 or 3 days. Can
Yeah.
you imagine?
No, but I watched Super
Or
Grand.
or ABC, just bring back American Gladiators, because if I don't see Blaze hitting people with you know, tennis balls, you know,
Oh,
fired at, I think, Mach Speed 1, and they're all in wrestling singlets, I'm just so mad. Why did we
Oh.
take that off of television? That was the best television ever.
I
You had
think it
like
was the hair.
Laser, Slater. No, that was what's his face? Blaze, Lance, Kyle,
Lance.
I think.
Kyle. Hi, my name is Kyle. Oh, God.
Look, those singlets were awful tight. I'm just saying there might have been some Kyles on there.
Yeah, see that this guy is asking the worst questions you can.
Or something to that nature. Are you aware of that allegation of that first incident?
Yes.
Do you know when that first incident would have occurred?
No, I don't.
No. Why would I?
Because y'all keep changing
Can you
where
explain
it
to the members of
occurred
the jury
because there's
what
no
efforts did you make
evidence.
to find out where the first incident might have occurred at?
I know that officers attempted to view video or obtain video from farther east on Brady. As far as my portion of the investigation, I obtained video, the video that we just discussed from the flight path.
Now, as the lead detective, you manage other officers, correct?
At times.
Super
You give them
bad.
direction, right?
At times.
You give an officer during a direction on September 22nd, 2020, correct?
I'm not certain if I did.
Okay. So you don't know what efforts other officers might have made to determine where the first incident would have occurred at, correct?
I do know that other officers attempted to view video farther east on Brady.
Okay. Did you ever take
Ooh.
Ms. Cleereman in a car and ask her, can you please show me where the first
That would
incident would have
do it.
occurred at? Did you do that?
I did not.
Do you know any other officer that did that?
No.
Why would they have to? That's and
Now,
this
You know-
prosecutor's just sitting there
There's certain
watching
duties
it.
that officers have
Well,
when
yeah,
they're the
had your
first officer on the scene,
client
correct?
stayed and told
Yes.
these
What are those
officers,
duties that
because
they
it
have?
was totally
In an incident like
self-defense,
this,
they could have gone and found exactly where the first incident took place, because
Yes.
you'd be there to say, hey, I was in genuine fear for my life. Didn't you see me doing 3 triple lutzes in the air because they, you know, hit me with a Kia Soul?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Innocent people don't run.
True.
Innocent people that are law-abiding citizens don't run.
Well, and juxtapose this with Kyle Rittenhouse, who attempted to turn himself in to the police officers at the end of the street and was told to go home, and then they turned himself in the very next day.
Yeah, as soon as they found it, they were just like, okay, we don't know what happened. There was this thing that happened. If you know anything about it, yes, I know anything about it. I tried turning myself in. Here is video of me trying to turn myself in. Nobody wanted to listen to me because they were dealing with a bunch of freaking rioters. And yes, there was lives lost. Do you think that makes him happy or proud of what happened? I don't know, but I'd be pretty damn proud of my ability to pull a trigger and only hit what I'm firing at. I'm
Yeah.
just impressed in that. I'm just like, holy crap, you're being attacked. multiple times and you're able to eliminate the threat with a long rifle. We're not talking about, you're sitting there with a pistol and able to eliminate it. No, you've got a rifle. Something you're not even taking, like you're not aiming down the sight. You're literally firing things off, and you're able to hit every single one of your targets and do catastrophic damage with only the threat. I'm just like, oh my God.
What the left doesn't get is that it wasn't about color. It wasn't about that. It was about people collectively. 87% of this country watched our cities, burn down. We're told by people at Aldi's, hey, we're closing at 5 p.m. We don't know how crazy it's going to get. Have dealt with, and it wasn't just big towns, it was small towns all around America that they were just tired of seeing this lawlessness go on with no stop to it. I mean, especially after David Dorn,
Well, and here's the thing that really, I think, sort of put it into perspective is the whole time you had all of the bullshit happening, and I'm going to juxtapose this into what's been happening at UCLA. Okay, let's put this into perspective here, or all the college campuses where everybody's. And I said this morning, that all those people that you're seeing at UCLA, they're outsiders. All the people you see at Columbia, they're outsiders. They don't go to college there, and they are all Antifa. They are the same people that showed up for all the Antifa protests and riots and all that bullshit. They are the rabble rousers. They are there to disrupt, to disturb, to create chaos. They're just throwing on some horrible looking work helmets that, my 5-year-old wouldn't wear because it would probably shatter their skull if anything actually hit it. Let's put it this way. OSHA wouldn't have anything to do. I don't have a 5-year-old, but if I did have a 5-year-old, I guarantee you that they wouldn't be wearing a helmet like that because it's completely unsafe.
True.
That being said, they're showing up, they're wearing masks, they're wearing some sort of face covering, they're covering themselves up, and then they're saying, oh no, we're college students. I don't believe you for a second, and half of those little fuckers are feds, and I will not be dissuaded in this bullshit, because they're doing nothing but coming in, causing problems, disrupting. They've changed tactics. It's the same fucking people, and they can kiss my ass. Every single one of them that wants to stir whatever. It doesn't matter what they're pro for or what they're against. They're causing problems. And that's all they're going to continue to do. And they're going to do this all the way up until the election. And then they're going to don on their little black helmets again, their black outfits. They're going to use the same tactics by covering themselves up so that you can't be seen from overhead. So that way they can do all the shenanigans undercover, because they do not want to be identified. And I say every single one of those students that participated in that, you lose every single bit of your funding, that you do not graduate, that you are dispelled from that college, and you go explain that to your parents and your grandparents or whoever the hell is paying for your tuition. You go explain it to them while you're working a dead-end job at 40 years old, working at McDonald's because you've got an arrest record and because you couldn't graduate from college because you wanted to start shit with people. Just saying. I have no tolerance for it. We shouldn't.
And you are going after the sacred cow of both the Uniparty by means of the military industrial complex, and some of the finance base of the Democrat Party. I honestly see a schism happening very soon.
Oh yeah, here's the thing. They came in to UCLA college. This is a nice campus. It's not ugly. It's actually a very beautiful campus. They came in, they vandalized it, they spray painted all over the place, and they're just going to leave it because you know what? They got arrested at 9:00 this morning, and they're already out. They've already moved on to the next college campus. They already had
That's what these poor
bail
kids don't
posted.
understand. I mean,
And any of these college students that got involved in their little shenanigans, yeah, you got suckered. Have fun.
yeah,
You live and you learn,
that's-
and I hope that they're working a minimum wage job for the rest of their lives. I hope it ruins their life for the rest of their lives, because it will. Us coddling them and saying, "Oh, it's okay, you were hornswoggled." No, now grow up, because this is what adulting is about. You know, it's no different than if you go out there and you get a DUI and you destroy the lives of several people because of your stupidity. You know, and you know, I actually have that video of this girl gets a DUI. She runs down two people, deletes them. They're gone.
that one where she's in the hospital and she's like, "So when can I go back to school?" And
Yeah, I've got college
how
tomorrow. When can I
drunk
get my
is
car?
she?
Because no, she's not drunk at that point. This is how entitled she feels that she should be. And we're not talking about some little Barbie rich
Oh.
white girl. We're talking about some middle class, you know, not the cutest thing, whatever. But she's been told that it's okay. It's okay. Mommy and daddy said it's okay. So there's no consequences for the actions. You know, it's the girl that walks into Walmart and says, "Well, I can't afford it, so I'm just going to steal it." You know, it's no, this is not how polite society operates. You can't afford it, then you save your money. You stop spending it on your weave. Maybe stop spending it on, you know, your nails and crap like that, and live like the rest
we
of
just
us
have
do, just
lost-
scraping by. And no, we're
yeah.
because we're told in society, and this is the problem that you have all of with a lot of these countries, like you know, Afghanistan and places like this that don't have that. That's why they look at the Americans and they go, "Really? Like you're getting all upset because you're getting arrested for killing somebody because you were too stupid to not drink and drive? You want to call
Yeah,
us a third world country, and you're getting upset over this?" Like, no.
Well, and the instrument, look, it's a fight over instrumentality, because while America may have, you know, more shooting incidents than other countries, the other countries have more, I don't know, katanaing and more macheteings than we seem to have.
Yes.
It's the
Yeah, there's-
instrumentality, but that
People
is for
are
the-
mean to other people, and people are freaking crazy.
yeah. Well,
And
but we have
you
good
know-
stories like Shizzy, if you want to see me die on tonight's episode of Nightly Newsy News, I picked what was supposed to be a heartwarming baseball story, but it's all
Oh.
about how this magical summer sausage, and look, if you had a sense of humor that was above board and completely adult and mature, then you could have read this article without laughing, but I couldn't.
I can't read any of this shit anymore without just laughing. This morning, getting up, my plan was not to be covering fucking riots at all. I was not looking to be covering the riots that were going on in UCLA.
It is, and there are real.
I was going to be
What
talking
pisses
about
me off
how
is
this
they're
kind
real
of stuff is.
people
Well,
fighting for justice. I mean, if I saw just 1/10 of the, you know, solidarity for the Iranians, you know, that want to overthrow their, you know, theistic, you know, overlords because of the women that have been unalived for the simple fact that their scarf moved in the wind, you know, I'd maybe have a little bit more respect for you as a slacktivist kidult, but you are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to give you guys, a little bit of grace because you're stupid, but holy cow, even I didn't,
Yeah. And which they end up finding out that she totally made all that shit up. How does that make you feel? That she came out and said, no, I made all this shit up. During Kavanaugh.
Indelible on the hippocampus of my brain. I have to have doors put in every room in my house. Ma'am, that's how all houses are constructed. No, you don't understand. It's indelible on my hippocampus, and I can't fly places now because I'm scared. Ma'am, is this a picture of you going to the Bahamas? Well, there were two doors on that plane.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only because he was a giant nerd.
Yeah. Yep. He actually, would show up and coach his girls' basketball team. That's how much he loved his daughters. And you know what? He had to stop doing that because people made it sound like he was he liked grapes.
Yeah. Again, I blame CERN. I think they activated the particle collider and we got shuffled into the stupid dimension where they tried to make more Matrix movies. Because I don't understand what timeline made that.
Well, in the future.
Check the victim, try to assist the victim, get medical attention for the victim. Let other officers that are responding know what their needs are, secure evidence, secure the scene, block traffic, things of that nature.
Okay. And when you said secure the scene, what does that mean?
That means secure any evidence, secure any witnesses within that immediate area.
And is there such thing called as preserving the scene?
Yes.
What is preserving the scene?
Preserving the scene is essentially the same as securing that area, blocking traffic, restricting foot traffic from that area, putting up tape
It's
so
called a
citizens know that
synonym.
there's an active investigation and that no evidence or anything like
It
that gets
means the
moved or
same
tampered
thing.
with.
Okay. And why do you put up tape? What is the significance of putting tape around a crime scene?
To keep people out of that area that don't need to be in that area.
Or
And
keep
do
people
that so
in.
that you ensure
Like,
that a crime
maybe
scene
you
I
is
swear
not
to
covered up.
God, if I am on the jury, I am writing all my smart ass answers to these dumb questions instead of notes. So B. Arthur Lamar has already pissed me off asking questions like I'm a moron because he's asking questions for the jury more so than he is for any substantive reason that I can gather.
You know
And
what
if I
it
were a
is?
juror, I would just be pissed off.
You know what it
He's-
is? Yeah, and
he's
I'll
banking-
explain this. No,
He's banking
no.
on
He looked over. He saw that he had almost all black men on that jury. And you have to remember that the left does not look at people of color, as they like to put it, as having any ability to think on their own. They view them
That
as
is so
ignorant,
gross.
as stupid, as not capable of having a cognitive thought. Everything needs to be labeled for them. Everything needs to have a safety bumper on it because they view them as stupid, not as human beings, as Joe Biden said, because that's what he said. He said, we don't want to let these animals run free in our cities. And that would have been somewhere in 1980s. And that is in context, by the way.
Well, again, when you have maybe 6% of people that are just responsible for a bunch of the crime, the recidivism, I mean, cash bail is all right. Let's listen to B. Ivory Lamar because
Yeah,
I'm
about
already
to go
running
off
for
if I do.
president.
Correct?
Yes,
You do that to make sure that evidence cannot be removed from that crime scene, correct?
yes,
And you do that to ensure that evidence is not potentially moved from one place to another place from the crime scene, correct?
yes,
And you do that also to ensure that no evidence is also added to the crime scene, correct?
yes.
Why are you yelling at me, B. Ivory?
Now, Detective Kirkwood, part of your investigation, did you learn that there were individuals who went to Mr. Cleereman's body immediately after he was shot?
I don't know when I learned of the fact that an individual went towards Mr. Cleereman's body, and we're talking officers or citizens.
Whoever. I want to know everyone that you know that went to the body
Oh,
of Mr.
Jesus.
Cleereman. Let's narrow it a little bit. I want to know who went to Mr. Cleereman's body prior to law enforcement.
Why don't you
medical,
just ask the
MFD,
damn
Any of
question?
those individuals. Who went there that were like citizens? Let's start there.
I know for certain that Mrs. Cleereman did.
Okay. Is there anybody else that you know would have approached Mr. Cleereman's body as well?
I don't know offhand.
Did you make any inquiries as to who else might have went to the body of Mr. Cleereman?
If he's never heard anything, why would he ask about it?
Sustained unless it's more foundation.
Mr. Detective Colbert, are you aware that there's been testimony in this case that Ratrell Cameron was at the body of Mr. Cleereman?
I'm not aware of any other testimony in this case.
Okay. Did you see Ratrell Cameron on September 22nd of 2020?
I don't know if I've ever seen that individual.
Or do you know if any other officers would have gotten statements from Mr. Cameron about what he's seen or witnessed on September 22nd?
Sustained without more foundation.
Detective Carbo,
The Ivory's
are you
like,
aware that Stephanie
"Damn
Trotter
it."
was in a red SUV?
He may be aware if someone was in an SUV overruled. You can answer if you know.
I don't know that name of being in a red SUV, but I do recall a red SUV in the vicinity from cameras.
Okay. And do you ever recall Stephanie Trotter making any type of statements in this case?
Objection, Your Honor. They want her statement, call her. This is hearsay.
Yes.
I agree that it's hearsay. They want her to testify. She can
I love Borowski. Just like it's hearsay.
testify at some other point in time.
The state lawyer is like, I only have 17 Diet Cokes left,
Yeah.
and that's going to last me an hour. So I'm going to need you to hurry up with your stupid, okay?
Yeah.
If you could just do your stupid in a timeline, that would be awesome.
Like, make it happen. 'cause you're
Did you
stupid.
make any inquiry as into who was the owner of the red SUV that we see in a 1 minute and 34-second part of the video?
Overruled. It may be relevant
Yeah.
if you can answer, Detective.
No, I did not.
There you go.
Do you think it would be important to
Now
find
move
out
on.
who that person is pulling up to the scene at 1 minute and 34 seconds of that video?
No.
Yes,
But you did not make that inquiry, correct?
correct.
No. Didn't need to. It would be important, but it's not my job.
It's almost like that the
Now,
person in the red
at some
SUV
point-
didn't shoot.
During the initial
The guy
investigation on
in the
September
head.
22nd, do you recall Officer During coming to you and advising you that there had been an item removed from the crime scene?
The only item that I'm aware was removed was a wallet.
And once you learned that an item that you refer to now as the wallet, didn't you state that's a problem?
No, you said a wallet.
Shizzy,
I don't know what I stated to him, but
what the hell was that there? So now that you admit that the item which you purport was a wallet, well, like he brought a force multiplier in and said, okay, guys, police, come on, come over here, huddle up. We need to destroy someone's life. And because of my oath as a sacred officer, it must be someone that has a tan darker than me. Bring in the force multipliers. Bring in the stuff we used for OJ's, framing. Again, the problem with this is that you are expecting a government institution to work perfectly and in perfect unison. And have you seen people try to fill potholes from the city? It ain't gonna happen.
Well, they have a system here in Georgia, and it's a beautiful system. They have a crew that comes out, and they dig a hole. All right, that like if they're working on a sewer line, for example, they dig a hole in the middle of the street. They dig up all the pavement. Well, then they have another crew that comes and lays a big, huge metal plate over that hole. Okay, then whenever they need to access it, the crew comes along and they have another crew that comes and lifts the plate up so they can access it and do all the work they need to. Then they have another crew that comes along and picks up the plate. Then they have another crew that comes along and fills the hole with the cement. But then they have another crew that comes and actually makes sure that it's tamped down. So,
Okay.
yeah, they have like 5 crews to do one job, and you have these big metal plates that have handles on them that if they don't seat it properly, they'll actually shred your tire apart. So, yeah.
Oh, well, that's like when my doctor told me on Monday, look, the government is aware there's a shortage of this medication, and they have told us they're right on it. And I may have started laughing hysterically, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You're trusting the government to do something at the speed of government?" I was like, "Well, that's great. I'll get it when I'm 112."
Yeah. Don't. There is so much red tape and so much paperwork that I'm like, okay, which surprises, because I have to work in conjunction with a government entity, and I get calls like all the time, and they're just like, oh, we're talking to a human and not like a voice recording. I'm like, yeah, you're talking to a human. What do you need? This, and this. Okay. And I give them the information, and they go, oh my God, you're so helpful. You're so awesome. I actually talked to a human being, and like they answered my questions. And if they didn't know the answer to my question, they said, I don't know. And we moved on. Wow. Isn't it amazing? That's what customer service is supposed to be about. Not sitting there trying to whitewash shit like most customer service, they whitewash stuff. It's just like, listen, my internet isn't working good. And instead of you going, I will send somebody out there because that's what we're supposed to do, you go, well, I don't know. It's probably that you need a new router. I was like, well, I don't need a new router because my router is brand new. Why are you saying I need a new router? Because everything was working fine. And whenever I run a speed test, I've got no like speed going to you guys. It's not on my end. It's on your end. And they go, no. It's on your end. It's totally you that's screwed up. You're going to have to, oh, you bought your own router. Yeah, we don't warranty that. No, but your internet's screwed up down the line. No, everything's perfectly fine. And then like 3 days later, they go, oh yeah, I guess we screwed up somewhere along down the line. Yeah, that's what I said. All you have to do is just refund me my damn money. I'll be happy, because you cost me like 8 hours of, being able to do any work, assholes. And if you want to really make it up for me, I could just charge you what my hourly rate is, which I don't think you can afford to pay my hourly rate, because it's more than what I pay you per year if you were to do it by hourly rate. So why don't you get your shit together and get your head out of your ass? Sorry, I'm ranting and raving again.
Oh no. See, when I'm president, all customer service calls that give you a time frame will be required by executive to order to say, we'll be here anytime between 8 a.m. and screw you. Because it's honesty, and look, it's a platform I believe in, and I'm running for you Americans.
Should be honest with it.
Can you explain to the members of the jury how that could be a problem?
If that wallet was on the person of the victim, at that early point in time in the investigation, we didn't have details about exactly what happened. If we learned that some individual removed something from the victim or touched the victim in a certain way, we needed to be able to articulate how this happened, why this happened, who did it, and where that item is now.
Now, Detective Cargo, did you make any inquiry as to why there was a wallet removed from the scene on September 22nd, 2020?
Yes, because you was distraught.
I don't believe I did.
You self-worthless bastard.
Now, Detective Cargo, as we talk about compromising a crime scene, now you can confirm your knowledge of a wallet being removed, correct?
Yes.
But you don't know if there was other items, like a weapon, that could have also been removed from that crime scene, correct?
Correct.
You don't know if other items had been moved from one place and put in another place.
Her lightsaber, she got out.
There was that other weapon, because that's what he was carrying. He had like a couple of Glocks on him and an assassin rifle, and he was like
he had a crossbow on the back of, just like,
well, he was all ninja and shit. He just came like rolling up on this
did he
guy,
have some throwing stars on him?
Yes, he had the throwing stars. He was like totally ninja out. He was just like, hey, listen, ninja, from one ninja to another ninja, you're going down. And that's what caused him to like get like shot, because that's how it works here in the USA, man. We're just a bunch of gunfighters. Sorry, that's so bad. I believe you guys, you do understand. Oh, Good to see you, Cindy. Good to see you. How you doing, girl? Some meds are low because we send them to Ukraine and Gaza. Relief gets first dibs.
Well,
yeah.
as the medicine is for us well-nourished Americans to not look so well-nourished, I don't know that Ukraine needs those medicines. I'm thinking Hollywood
do.
stole them.
Well, I mean, I think Ukraine needs all the Botox they can get.
I do. I today, did my little 5 times prayers face towards Ukraine like I was told to.
I thought that was taking a dump. I'm sorry. Just
You can observe your religion
That's right,
however
there's
you
no
want to.
evidence
It's
of that. Don't
murder.
imply something else that there's no evidence of. None. There's no evidence introduced in this case by any witness that is even close to that. That assumes facts, not in evidence. Sustained. Move on to a relevant question.
Oh, Borowski.
Get a
correct.
pop
You don't know if other items have been
filter.
moved from one place and put in another place.
Yes, Your Honor, there's absolutely no evidence that anything was moved.
That's right. There's no evidence of that. Don't imply something else that there's no evidence of. None. There's no evidence
Yeah,
introduced
he's
in
like,
this case
that's
by
all I
any witness
got. Damn.
that is even close to that. That assumes facts, not in evidence.
can't hear you.
Sustained. Move on to a relevant question. Don't imply things that have not occurred and are not in evidence. Move on.
I'd like to now go to State 83, please, the during video.
I just want to say, Borowski is so goddamn awesome. Just like,
Oh, yeah.
you are stop this shit right now. There is no facts of
I
this
know.
in evidence whatsoever. And he's chastising him in front of the jury. Just like,
Yeah.
this is the
I mean-
last thing you want to have your
No.
defense attorney doing is getting chastised by a judge because you're starting shit.
Yeah, you also don't want to, again, you don't want to look like you're trying to hoodwink the jury. They're only getting paid $5 in food poisoning.
Well, yeah. Well, and the judge is very sympathetic. He was just like, as they're breaking for lunch, he was just like, good luck with the cafeteria for whatever that's worth.
Like,
Like,
say your prayers,
not gonna
don't
be
get
the
the tuna
greatest.
sandwich.
yeah, exactly. He's saying jokes like that. Oh, I don't think B. Ivory's ever been talked to like that. He seems totally distraught now.
He doesn't understand. My guess is they let him in
And
small
he's about
claims
to
court.
cry. He's crying. He's crying
And-
right now. His little
He's
feelings
pouting.
got hurt. His little feelings got hurt. He needs to just break out that highlighter and just start highlighting pages on this notepad of his, because he is freaking pouting right now. You can't see it because the camera's turned away, but I know the body movement, and he is pouting. After the judge goes off on him, he's just like,
Well, yeah, but Borowski gave you a warning. Borowski gave you a warning
Multiple.
when he said, look, move on. Don't take another thing out of context. And then he's like a kid that's like, I'm not touching my brother. And you have him, and it's right there. And you're like, he's like, but he gets all upset because he gets in trouble. And he's like, I
I'm
wasn't
not
even touching
you.
him.
I'm not touching
And
you.
I'm like,
I'm not
no, you were
touching you.
stirring the pot. Go. You're trying to give me go corner now. Like I'm not
and
litigating
then he
with you.
pouts. He is so frustrated.
in-
You can see him move that laptop back and forth, and I swear to God, there's probably little tears that are welling up inside him because he's never been talked to like that before. Like, how
No,
dare
they
this white
probably-
man talk to a black man like this? This is so inappropriate.
Well, no, I think it's more that they let him get away with stuff in small claims court because, it's
Traffic court, yeah.
yeah. But here he has, and the sad thing is, as much as we joke, Theodore Edgecomb should receive the best defense that he can get. And unfortunately,
B.
this
Ivory or
isn't
Lamar
it.
is not. B. Ivory Lamar is not good
No.
defense.
He's thinking.
That right there is a man that has lost the plot.
Yeah, he's
because
never been made to stay within the actual rules of practice.
no, because he's a race baiter. This is B. Ivor Lamar is a race baiter.
Well,
This
true.
right here is what happens whenever you get people like the Jesse Jacksons, the Al Sharptons, and you actually put them in front of real law, not this bullshit, take things out of context, like poke the Barrett stuff. This is what happens whenever you get all the little white supremacists that was sitting there going, hate the Jews. You get them all and you sit down and you explain to them how life actually works in front of a group of people that don't tolerate bullshit, that they go, oh, and they become very panicky. They become very upset. They get breaking out the cold sweats because you just destroyed all of the dogma and all the bullshit that they have. And you sit down and you explain to them, this is not how people behave in proper society. You don't go beating up somebody because of the color of their skin or what religion they have. You don't attack people because of the way that they look or the way that they act. It's fun to make fun of the bobbly wobblies, but in all reality, whenever you run into somebody that happens to be mentally incapacitated, you don't act like an ass. You don't walk up to them and go, oh, you're a bubbly wobbly. No, you're actually going, hey dude, is there any way that I can help you out? It's fun to make fun, but in all honesty, whenever this is whenever it breaks down from all the bullshit that you've been talking and all the way that you act to actually being human. And he doesn't know how to differentiate between that because he wasn't taught any better, because his mom let him get away with shit. Dad wasn't there to go, son, stop your shit, because that's not appropriate. That's not the right way to act. And that's not true. That's what this man is missing. Sorry.
Yeah, and this case is, so the gentleman that's sitting back with the black face mask, allegedly, he was riding a bike and a defense attorney and his wife were leaving a nice evening at a bar. But he claims that they almost ran him over and pushed him against the car. Now, what the wife says happens is that the husband said, what the heck, because, or any expletive you want to add.
Yeah.
Because this guy on a bicycle almost, was right in front of them. Now, Mr. Edgecomb claims that he heard the terrible bad word and the
word that should
ran
never be used by anybody unless you just happen to be the color.
And he biked up and decided to punch this man in the face. So the man that got punched in the face decided to go find out why the flip he got punched in the face, and Theodore Edgecomb shot him. Point blank range. And
admits to shooting him. He doesn't deny that he shot him, but he's trying to claim self-defense.
And that could have worked if he hadn't very promptly after that run the F away, changed his name, and tried to change his appearance to hide from the cops.
And left to go to Georgia, got pulled over in Kentucky. Yeah, everything that he did was completely wrong. Every which way that you could go was completely wrong. And this guy right here, this one that we call stupid, because that is the best description I can give of him. That guy that we call stupid right here. Yeah, this guy right there, stupid. He is an idiot defense attorney because he is a race baiter. He is one that stirs up things.
Is he a defense attorney if it's civil court? Wouldn't he be a plaintiff attorney?
Well, these are the prosecute.
Oh, well, yeah.
Defense.
But I mean, I don't think he's ever worked a criminal case is what I'm trying to get at. I think this is his first criminal case.
No, he usually is able to do enough threatening. He shows up at rallies. He likes to speak out. He showed up on all over CNN during trial Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, he was all over CNN during Kyle Rittenhouse saying, you know, that this white man shouldn't be allowed to shoot all these black people, and he was just a horrible human being. See, this is a problem whenever you get a narrative and you actually don't research your bullshit. You tend to fuck things up. And that's what he's done. I've done it. I'll admit, I've said things that are like, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this guy can't admit.
And then I have the wisdom to say, when I don't know enough about a subject, to give you, you know, a studied, reasoned opinion. I'll give you my hot take, but
yeah, that's
I don't know nothing about nothing.
No nothing. I was so frustrated. Can you stutter the words?
What are today, Junior?
Oh no! Like I said, he just got destroyed.
Oh, I know. He's like, but my whole page is highlighted. I don't understand. What's the important part?
Yeah, he's.
I'm gonna start here at about we got about 45 minutes and 15 seconds. That should be fine.
Oh Jesus! This should be fun.
Council,
Fine.
you got 45 minutes and 15 seconds. This is fine. We can play from here.
Showing everything. And then I have this wallet. Do you want his wallet right away? Or give it to the guy that you get that.
Yeah, here's what he's trying to get at. Oh, they were too sympathetic towards her. They missed information that she could have possibly had. They are handling her with kid gloves because she just watched her husband get deleted. Her husband is not going to be around anymore. They are concerned for her and her safety, her mental ability to actually cope with this, because she is in complete shock, and they know she's in complete shock, and they are monitoring her as close as they possibly can, and they are handling her with kid gloves. And this is what Edgecomb doesn't understand. You don't go attacking a widow over this kind of crap. It's one thing if the widow is sitting there holding the smoking gun, you're going to treat her completely different as compared to she's holding a wallet because she is in completely denial that her husband has even died. She thinks that this is just some nightmare, that she's going to wake up tomorrow and she's going to roll over and her husband's going to be there. He's going to plant a big kiss on her and they're going to go about their day just as they did every other day. He's going to be making the coffee for her. She's going to be cooking eggs in the kitchen, and the realization hasn't hit her yet. And they know this. They know that there's no coming back from this. This is the end of that road. And it is going to be so hard for her to actually cope with this. And they're just making sure that she is okay. They're handling her with the biggest kid gloves they possibly can. And Edgecomb does not understand this. If he did, he would have not attacked her like he did.
The other thing is, they probably give two craps about a wallet. They think she's a witness. Does this guy, has he looked at her face? Does he have, you know, he obviously knows what car she drives. Is he going to stay around in the city to make sure that no witnesses will be able to testify as to what she saw?
Yeah.
There's so many things going on that a wallet, again, if she had a history of perjury, like an actual record of perjury,
or even spousal abuse. If these two would have been like in the court system, or they would have pulled up the information and saw that, you know, he was abusive to her, or she was abusive to him, or they had domestic disputes. No, they were just, they were your neighbors down the street. that, you know, they're maybe a little bit loud and boisterous at times, but they're just nice people, and you wave to them whenever you see them. They're like they've got issues going on, but generally they're just like doing their own thing, and there's no reason to think that she's done anything inappropriate or he's done anything inappropriate. It's like going after grandma because, you know, well, grandma just, you know, grandma walked into the, you know, the Capitol building and she waved a little flag, and well, let's just send her to prison for the rest of her life. Because, well, she was part of an insurrection. Can't do that. And Edgecomb, B. Ivory showing this stuff doesn't do any good.
Detective Purple, is that you?
No.
This is not you?
I'm sorry.
No.
There's two people.
Sorry, all white guys look the
subject
same.
wearing a suit coat is me. The subject not wearing a suit coat is Detective Cleereman.
But okay, all right, can we start from there?
Yeah, because that's actually north of over here. The detective that took his wife to interview wanted me to give one of you as well. He said, let's just set that on his car right now.
But all us white guys look the same, don't we?
I was
That's what I always said.
Were you just advised that, did you just observe where Officer During says, did that wallet come up out of him? Correct? Come up out of him.
What?
I think that was Detective Cleereman.
Okay, you were present for that, sir?
Yes.
All right, and he said,
Dude, you keep misidentifying me. That's Agent Kabani, the other white guy, the other bald white guy. Okay,
To be fair,
have
there's a lot of bald white guys in this room right now.
Yeah. Why are you mislabeling me? I mean, geez, are you saying all us bald white guys look the same?
Well, we know
Racist?
you're either an officer or a DA. We just didn't know where to place you.
that's a problem? Or that's not good?
I believe that's what I heard.
Okay, can we go back 5 seconds, please?
That's what I heard, but that's not what I said.
Yeah, because that's actually north of over here. The detective that took his wife to interview wanted me to give one of you as well. He said, let's just set that on his car right now. I don't know where the wallet came from. I was interviewing her because...
You continue on. You can go back to the second make sure.
It was on the hood of my car.
Will you stop it right there? Did you say incredible?
I believe so.
Okay. And why did you say incredible?
Because I was being given an item that we just learned came from the victim, and there was no account from where it came from.
Okay. And that's a problem when items come up out of victims, correct?
Correct.
All right, now at this point, let's play from here.
Me.
You mean pieces of evidence. When you say items come out the victim,
Yeah, it's not like they just pulled. It's not like we pulled a snot rag out of the guy's, you know, cranium or something.
it's not like operation.
Right here, please. So,
Yeah.
Officer During is given a direction at this point to find out where this wallet came from, correct?
Yes, by Detective Cleereman.
And that's an important issue in this case, right?
Yes.
You can see you playing the video, please.
I check. Negative. No. You ready? I'm like, who got his wallet out of his pocket? Where was he walking from? He was on the hood of my car. Checked the wrong way it came from. I did. We were first was here. Who went to his wallet? Did no, his wife did. His wife? Yeah. Oh, okay, she got it. Okay. Wait, either MFD or his wife. Those are the only. Let me go ask MFD.
Can you stop right here, please? So at some point in time, there's evidence that come about the victim that the detectives and the police department don't know where it came from at some point, correct?
Yes.
And that could be problematic,
Yes.
too, correct?
It depends on the situation.
Well, in this situation,
Yeah.
that could be problematic, correct?
No.
It has the potential to be problematic, yes.
You continue playing.
Oh, she has a bottle of water. Why are you focusing in on this? Does it mean anything? Absolutely nothing.
Have his wallet out of his pocket? Or sorry, have his wallet by any chance? See his wallet? No, you don't go. Thank you. Okay, fabulous. Hey, did any of you guys see his, we have his wallet, did any of you guys see it, or did you remove from his pocket, did you guys hear anything like that? No one? Okay, no,
No, she pulled the wallet out. What does it matter?
Yeah, she admits to that, therefore knowing. Also, can we stop saying come up out the victim? Because that sounds like some poltergeist stuff.
Yeah. She pulled it out of her nethers.
Just to confirm, you stated there was no follow-up as to why that took place, correct?
By me, no.
And you're not aware of any other officer that followed up on that issue, correct?
I don't know.
No, are you?
And you know that you learned that there was other individuals, even outside Ms. Cleereman, that was present at the body at some point or another, correct?
I don't know how present they were, how close they got to the body. I don't know.
Did you ask those questions to any of those individuals?
I wasn't the detective that was conducting the interviews of those individuals.
Did you follow up with any officers who were conducting those interviews?
Directly?
That's a stupid
I don't remember
question.
doing that, but we do have briefings where we share information.
Okay. Do you remember that information being shared in one of those briefings?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Stupid line of questioning, or idiot.
Oh God, is it the White Claw
I'm
picture?
showing you the Marcus Defense Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize that?
No.
I believe so.
What do you recognize that to be?
This appears to be the top of a stairwell, and it looks like the same stairwell where this incident happened.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of that stairwell?
I don't know because I don't know where this photograph came from.
Yeah.
I don't know who took this photograph, and I can't be 100% certain that this is the stairwell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
What are
you spent some time at the stairwell where this incident,
Yeah, it would be like you handed me a picture of some random car, saying,
Yeah.
and maybe it looks identical to my car, but I don't know where you got the picture from. I would go, well, it looks like it could be, but without more information, I couldn't really tell you. You know, you're handing me a picture that you're saying is my car, and I would look at it and go, it might be. I don't know for sure, because like if you maybe like could give me a 360
playing with him, because he's seeing how rattled he gets. So instead of the answer that he knows the Ivory Lamar is wanting him to say, he's like, could be a stairwell. I don't know. You're gonna have to give me some reference to it. Like if someone said this is your house. This is a picture of this car in front of this house. This is the scratch you have on the passenger side door where some stupid idiot decided to open up their car door and then look at you and go, whatever. Yeah, there's certain identifiers I could have in my car, but if you don't show those identifiers, I would go, it could be, maybe not. And that would be the only answer I could give you. And you would have to take that answer because I don't have any reference to anything else except for just this random picture you showed me. To be fair, as the only person with the 10-passenger red Ford Transit, I'd be like, well, you got me, sir. Wait, is there a bumper sticker in the back that says my entire family rides the minibus?
But see, you don't ask that question. You would just go, it could be. Because you're expecting them to show you the bumper sticker on the back that says, that mommy does it best or whatever the dirty words that you have on the back of it. I'm just saying that without that, and you don't give that information to them, you let them ask the question or show you more context of, well, I'm going to show you this picture of the same car taken at the same time. Is this look like yours with the bumper sticker that says mommy does it? But I don't know. I mean, well, I don't know. That bumper sticker could be on a lot of cars in the state of Georgia. Just saying, sweetheart,
Finally ended that, correct?
Yes.
How much time did you spend at that stairwell?
I don't know how long I was on scene there.
Okay. Did you go back any other days outside of September 22nd?
I believe I did.
But you're not concerned?
Well, there was a guy I had to throw down the
I'm not certain
stairs
what
a
days I
couple of
went back,
times.
but I know I've been back to that stairwell and that alley, that walking path at the base of the stairwell, likely on the 25th when I was attempting to get video from the area.
Okay. And when you arrived when you perform investigations as the lead detective, it is important to consider all alternatives, correct?
Yes,
It's important not to be biased when conducting an investigation, correct?
correct,
It's important not to jump to conclusions, correct?
correct.
Right. Was there anyone searched that you are aware of who would have been present at Mr. Cleereman's body at any point on September 22nd, 2020?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part.
Was there any searches conducted of anyone's person who got close to Mr. Cleereman's body?
Not that I know of.
No further questions, thank you.
State. You didn't search MFD?
No.
I mean, they were close to his body, weren't they?
Yes,
Okay. Also, additionally, defense counsel was asking you about, oh, you found out about the wallet, and this is when an officer goes, hey, got the victim's wallet. You say, where did it come from? He didn't really know, did he?
correct.
That's a problem, that the victim's wallet, we don't know how it gets to an officer, right?
Yes,
Okay. But if we look at the exact same body cam,
Oh,
It's
you
so awesome
dumbass.
because he is going to get this officer to answer the question that B. Ivory couldn't figure out how to ask because he's an idiot. Idiot.
Or he didn't watch the entire video.
Yeah, because he is going to clear this up right here, right now. He's going to say, and he is going to use all the words that B. Ivory used, except he's going to complete the question and not try to beat around the bush to make it seem like something shady is going on, which is what B. Ivory is doing. It's sort of like, it's like, it would be like me coming to you, Mo, and accusing you of flying airplanes. Something that you don't do, but I come up and or maybe you do fly airplanes. I come up to you and say, so is it true that you fly airplanes? And you would say, yes, because if you did, for example, and then I'd say, well, is it true that you were flying this particular airplane at this particular time? You would go, no, I wasn't flying this airplane at that particular time. And you wouldn't have to expound on it, because if I gave you the incorrect time by even 1 second off, if I said at 3:32 on Sunday afternoon, and you can go, well, I know that I wasn't in the air at 3:32, you're thinking to yourself, I was in the air at 3:30, 3:35, and I had already landed the plane, then no, I wasn't in the air at 3:32. And that's the only answer that you have to give. This is why whenever you do a deposition of a witness, you ask very specific questions to get a very specific answer. And so whenever you're showing up in trial, that whenever they're asking those questions, they're very specific questions to very specific answers. They already know how you are going to answer it. The only reason that they are asking you in front of a jury is because the jury is judging your answer. And if you did not do a deposition prior to this, if you didn't question the witnesses prior to this, if you don't know what they're going to be saying prior to this, then you're coming into this blind and you're making yourself look like an ass. Unlike the DA, which probably deposed every single one of the witnesses on the defense's team and on the prosecutorial team, he asked every single one of them, said, this is what I want to find out. I want to find out every single thing that you know. These are the questions I'm going to be asking. You already know the layout of the land. The only thing is now we're going to be asking in front of a jury so they can be the judge of what is true and what is not. They already know the answers to the questions. Sorry. Never ask a question without already knowing the answer, ever.
they didn't play this. I'm going to play it. 6 minutes, and let's go to 2 seconds when we first encounter the victim's wife. Let's play from that portion. Okay, so Officer Doring didn't remember that he and his partner had gotten it from the wife. We can see get it from his wife. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, there's a lot going on, right?
Yes.
Even officers
Yes.
can get caught up in the adrenaline and the emotion.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, so even though in this same video where we see Officer Doring get the wallet from the wife and say, give me his ID, 40 minutes later, he doesn't remember where the wallet came from.
Correct.
Okay, that's one of the great reasons about having the body cam is that problem was answered in the MPD body cam itself. Mystery solved, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, thank you.
Detective Kirk, well, under any circumstance, no one should ever take an item from a crime scene, correct?
He's about to object here.
That's not correct.
Okay, give me a circumstance where it's okay for an individual who's a citizen to take an item away from a crime scene.
Stupid
As a
question.
If you're
citizen, no.
rendering
It's not
aid.
acceptable.
And Ms. Cleereman was a citizen, correct?
Correct.
Now,
But that's not
you've
the
also learned
question
that
he
there was a
asked.
knife in Mr. Cleereman's pocket, correct?
Listen to the question B. Ivory asked on this. It is so glorious because the officer answers correctly. He says, under no circumstances should evidence ever be removed from a place of a crime scene. And he said, well, that's not true. Under circumstances, they could. Then the next question that he asks, see what he says? No one should ever, and he'll say, that is not correct. And then listen to what he says after that. This is hilarious.
Mystery solved, right?
The interaction with the officer puts him in his place. Is so beautiful.
Well, under any circumstance, no one should ever take an item from a crime scene, correct?
That is not correct.
That's not correct.
Okay, give me a circumstance where it's okay for an individual who's a citizen to take an item away from a crime scene.
Okay, so after the evidence has been processed, we can take the evidence away from the crime scene because it's been processed there. We're going to be sending it off to have it looked at. Another reason might be that the evidence needed to be transported by being loaded up on a truck. I mean, I how many instances do you want of a reason why the item should be taken away from a crime scene? They're wearing the
There's
clothes.
a free floating force multiplier. You come on the scene, someone's ditched it. Technically, you shouldn't move it, but there's a kindergarten class coming up. So, you try to take your shirt and not mess it around too much, but you don't want the kindergarten class playing with the force multiplier.
Or you don't want to see the kindergarten class seeing the deceased body. You also, I mean, how many instances do I need to give you that? And he says, is it okay for an individual who is a citizen to take an item away from a crime scene? Well, if they're wearing the item, like say there's blood on their shirt, then it's okay for them to leave the crime scene because we're not going to have them strip butt ass naked in front of like a whole police department just so that we can like leave this item there. There's many reasons why. Be more specific. What's your questions?
And the cop's just like, I'm not paid enough to be here.
He's just looking at B. Ivory going, you're an asshole. You're a dumbass. You don't know what you're talking about. You're asking I know what points you're getting at, but I'm not giving you shit for free. How's that?
Well, yeah,
As a
I do
citizen,
like
no.
that.
It's not acceptable.
And Ms. Cleereman was a citizen, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
She was a
Now,
wife first.
You've also learned that there was a knife in Mr. Cleereman's pocket, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And you don't know who all touched that knife, correct?
I know that it was found in his pocket and it was removed by the medical examiner.
Okay. You don't know who all touched that knife on September 22nd, 2020, do you?
Only from my point being there and the medical examiner removing it, I don't know if anyone.
Well, let's see. On the night of September 22nd, there's a possibility that he handed it to his wife that was going to slice a lemon. I don't know anything that happened prior to that. It could have been, it actually could have been removed by, his buddy that he handed it to, said, hey, do you have something? I've got this sliver and I'm trying to get this like sliver out of my finger. Or, hey, I got this package. Honey, can you hand me the knife because I need to open this package? You don't know the circumstances. These are broad questions.
He is also being so disingenuous because when he says pocket and he keeps alluding to the wallet, the jury might honestly think that it's a back pocket. But no, his wife would have had to take 250 pounds of dead weight, roll him over to, get the knife to conceal it
or to
put
put
it
the
back
knife in there. Yeah. And that's also to fold it up or whatever it might be. And if you're thinking that this guy reached inside and grabbed a little pocket knife, grabbed a little tiny pocket knife, and he just happened to whip it out, that whenever he whipped it out and as parts of his skull matter was exiting his brain, that he had the wherewithal to fold it up, make sure there got no blood on it, and lay it down in a nice pattern so that his that his tiny little wife could actually pick it up, roll him over, stuff it in his pocket, take his wallet, all in the matter of seconds. Okay, well, how about you just ask that question? Because he knows that it's a hypothetical and there's no way that happened. That's why he never asks a question, but he will allude to it because the lawyer ain't listening.
Anybody else went in his pocket prior to that?
So it's possible that somebody else other than Jason Cleereman could have also touched that knife, correct?
Yeah, Jesus could have.
And in fact, there was no DNA taken of that knife, correct?
I don't know that.
No more questions. Defense counsel said it's possible
I don't
that
know
someone
that.
else other than the ME touched the knife. Do you have any evidence whatsoever that you're aware of that anybody before the medical examiner went into Mr. Cleereman's pockets?
Only the fact that Mrs. Cleereman had his wallet. Other than that, no.
Now, the wallet coming from the back pocket, is that correct?
I don't know where the wallet was removed from.
Are you aware of how Mr. Cleereman was situated prior to the officers arriving on the scene?
Yes,
How was it?
face down
On the stairs, is that correct?
at the top of the stairs.
250-pound man, correct?
I don't know his weight, but I would imagine
So
roughly.
All the
someone to
points
get into his
I've just
pockets,
made.
someone would have to move him, probably pick him up, and get a hand into that pocket in order to either put something or remove something. Is that correct? Officer speculation.
No, it doesn't. Overruled.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Borowski's like, don't be a moron.
No officer allowed Ms. Cleereman to take the wallet, did they?
no,
A distraught wife went to his body and took his wallet before the cops even got there, right?
yes.
No more questions.
This
All right,
cop
you can
is
step
like,
down. You done?
no one
You
can be
step down,
this
detective.
stupid.
Who's the state's next witness? What's the situation with the witness that may be called out of order?
Yeah, they can.
Well, we still got time for the show. I'd like to use my time if I can.
Who's next?
I don't know yet, hold on.
Yeah,
Well,
this
I
is
think I am gonna
well,
leave
this is
you
the end.
here.
No,
Oh,
this is
okay.
the end for the night. There's nothing more. There's they're gonna
Going all
close
the way.
this thing out.
Should we take a short break? You guys can be honest. Yes, no, maybe. Okay. When he
I
comes back,
want
we'll
to see
take a
if
break.
he's going to chew them out real quick. But he's allowing the jury to exit so they can take
Yeah.
a short break.
He's smiling, and then as soon as the jury's gone, like
Remember,
when
we're
your
gonna take a
mom
5-minute
hangs
break
up
for
the
the jury,
phone when
so
you
you
were
can
in
stretch your legs.
trouble.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, leave your
And
notepads where
she's
they are.
back to
File my
that
bailiff out. I'm not going to insult your
demon voice
collective
and
intelligence
you're
by
like-
telling you the rules for the 795th time. So, see you in a few minutes.
I just want to see if he's going to chew out B. Ivory. Like, what the are you doing?
He's like, son, I'm not upset with you. I'm just
Nope.
disappointed
off the record
in
for
our
10 minutes.
education system.
Yeah, that was it. I'm sorry. I thought there was going to be more, but that
Oh
was that
no,
was it.
you're fine. I'm. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it is all good, sweetheart. This is how we try to finish these things out.
Oh yeah.
Is on a note without being
Just complete freaking idiots.
What he's hoping for is this Perry Mason moment or the Clue moment where it was the wife with a candlestick plus all the cops. So in order for B. Ivory Lamar for his premise to make any sense, every police meeting from the get-go, plus there's apparently a secret meeting of people who just wanted to screw with Theodore Edgecomb, and they all got
Right.
together, and it was like, it's daddy-daughter date night, and, we just have to implicate this man in an unaliving.
Yeah, it is such a far stretch that whenever you see something like Karen Reed where it looks like the cops are doing some really shady stuff because they're all cops, and all of a sudden this person ends up deleted in the front lawn of a cop and nobody seems to give any two shits about it until afterwards. Like, all of the evidence doesn't quite point to them at all in any way, shape, or form. It seems really convenient, the way that they've got all this stuff set up. And it would sound plausible until you like really start breaking it down. Then you're just like, I don't believe that she actually did this. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And that's what part of having a good defense attorney is for. and having good qualified, expert witnesses like Karen Patel and
Oh my God.
Long Duck Dong. I mean, come on.
Okay. I was just like, Max. I was like, dang it.
Max was awesome.
I know. I just felt so bad because it was me right after him, and it's like two bulls in a china shop that you cannot ever
Control.
Like, we're like that 2-year-old in Hobby Lobby that's touching all the glass stuff.
Yes.
Like just touch.
Wait,
So
I didn't
we
leave enough
should-
fingerprints on there. I need to have a fingerprint on every spot.
Like,
of the
what
glass.
happens if we break everything, Mommy? This looks fun. There were years I did not go to Hobby Lobby with children because that middle
You
aisle
knew.
is just entrapment.
You just knew. You're like, nope, we're not doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We've had an absolute blast tonight. And this is what Mo and I do. We like to get in here. Half the time we watch what we're supposed to, and then the other half the time we will talk trash because that's what we like to do. And tomorrow morning, Mo's got her 9 a.m. stream, which will be your newsy news. And it is always a glorious sight to see the kind of things that Mo is going to be covering.
I tried to get the news that you won't find anywhere else, or about sports that I didn't realize was just going to be an entire me snickering to myself.
Well, and this morning I was not expected to be showing a riot at UCLA that had been going on since like 2 hours before I woke up.
True.
I was not expecting that. I'm just like, okay, well.
And I was texting Shizzy. I was like, wait, the commies decided to go nutso when I have a bunch of appointments. How is this fair?
Yeah, it happens.
Won't someone think of me and what I need to stream?
Yeah, you bastards. So no, it was fun this morning. I think. Let me see if MG has got something coming up so I can transfer all you guys over there. I don't see that he's doing anything, but I'm probably an idiot anyway. So give me just a second. I want to see if I can redirect you guys to somewhere. Got winning. Yeah, winning's got something coming up at 11 o'clock. And there we go. We'll save that there. And everybody have a wonderful evening. We will see you. MG is not streaming. Moved to Saturday? Holy crap. Okay, let me edit that then. If that's going to Saturday, let me fix that so I don't send you guys somewhere. Scheduled for May 4th. Holy crap, that is Saturday. We don't want to do that.
I know.
Let's see. Oh, got you guys with Steve Gosney. There we go. That's even better. You guys go say hello to Steve Gosney. Give him some love. We will see you very soon. Peace, y'all.